Are we ready? Are we ready for this? It's 7. Like it's 7 o'clock now. All right. What's going on? Excuse me. Oh, my door's not closed. Hold on. I had to close my door. I don't know why my door wasn't closed, but how's it going? Welcome. It's Order 42. Man, it's going to be a week, man. I am excited, and I'm happy that Rufus the Red is here, even though he hates the show. He says, I hate this show, but I'm going to hang out anyway. Well, Rufus, welcome. Welcome to the most hated show on the internet. It's probably not true. There's probably worse shows. And Zaki is here. Caleb's here. Good to see you all of you guys. I'll be listening, won't be able to type much because work is kicking my butt. Well, you know, you do what you need to do, man. You do what you need to do. But look, this week has been nuts for me. A lot of things have happened. For whatever reason, one of my videos decided to go insane. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who watches my videos. My review of Iga, which is an Indian film, 2 weeks after it was live, it was doing really well. And then all of a sudden it just took off. And in about a week, it's gone from about 1,000 views to almost 20,000 views. So just in the last month, we've had 120 new subs, that's ridiculous. It's crazy. And then almost 27,000 views. That's just that's nuts, man. That's nuts. So thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you. Anybody, because I'm assuming that those are mostly friends from India. I want to thank you for that because holy crap, that's amazing, especially for my small little channel. You know, it's really cool. It's really cool to do that. Oh, and by the way, I'm just gonna let you know that there were some updates to OBS before we get too far into this. There were some updates to OBS that I'll just look. There's new buttons and there's new things in here, and I just want to make sure that everything's working right. In fact, welcome Bucho. Welcome. There's a new button here that I just want to test. Okay, I just want you to see. I want to see if this works. But in Carbonite, welcome. I saw you come in there. Welcome. But yeah, I don't know what this button does. Let's see what it does. Did this come from New Zealand? This update to OBS? Let me see. If I push it again. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, I'm sure that you know, when someone brings up, you know, like Transformers or something, you know, he'll just pop up, I guess. But there you go. I don't know. Best looking update I've ever seen. Hey, I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not even sure how that got in there. But there you go. But Cosma, Mr. Octavius, Darth Octavius. Is it Sir Octavius? Darth Octavius? Don't worry, I didn't buy the Transformers collection. You know what, Caleb? You can buy whatever you want. Okay? This is the kind of place where, you know, if you're a fan of anything, just about anything, you know, come in here. I mean, if you're a fan of, you know, woodworking, this may not be the place for you. I'm not saying that you're not welcome here. I'm just saying that you may be bored because we're not going to be talking about, you know, joints and things. But other than that, hey, you're welcome here. Squiggles, what's going on? Look, I mean, look, we've got a full like lineup of things to talk about tonight. So no joint talk. I'm out. Well, Zaki, I'm talking about like woodworking joints. I didn't even think about that. Look, I'm just gonna say this. I don't right now don't partake in the cannabis simply because it's not legal here in Texas. But you know what? I would like to think that this show is cannabis friendly. So there you go. And Rich88 is here as well. Well, gosh, good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Before we get too far into this, and again, I can't underline enough how amazing the growth has been in this channel and in my pants. I'm just saying, it's been really, really cool, and I really, really appreciate it. So I don't know why you're here. I shouldn't say that. I'm just saying, for whatever reason that you're here, whether you're an old, switched on fan like Bucho and Jeff, or if you're, new fan from a fan edit, or if you like the Indian movies, or if you like the Game Chasers, it's awesome. It's awesome that you're here, and I really, really appreciate it. Why is it not monogamy wood friendly? One day we'll get those Order 420 streams. I mean, I'm just saying, I would not be opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that. Andural, no, it's not Andural at all. It's Glamdring. Was that Andural? No, it is Glamdring, the foam hammer. Forged by the elves in Gondolin. That's Gandalf's sword. But yes, I mean, look, Gandalf's not in Rings of Power that we know of. But yeah, forged by D's not. Look, Ricky, you just coming in here, just don't make me sick Bucho on you, because he'll smack you. He'll just come in here and be like, hey. I don't know why. I got to tell you, when I was making that, I was cracking up. I was sitting here laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. Order 420 is gold. Hey, I'm just saying, you never know. We might, if Texas, gets their head out of their ass, we may have an Order 420 stream. You never know. You never know. Rob pretty much has to embrace the weed now. Look, I'm just saying, Bucho's close to your nose. I know he's kind of. What have you had your hand in there, Bucho? Or it could be like this. Oh God. Oh, Bucho, stop it. I mean, there's many different ways that could be used. I'm just saying. Found you by the Game Chasers, and no offense to them, I enjoy these streams more than theirs now. Saki, I appreciate that. I mean, they are very. I mean, they're pretty entertaining guys. But the thing is, see, like Billy does his gaming streams, Jay does his gaming, drinking. I mean, they're fun. They're all fun. The only reason, and this is a personal reason why I do not go over there to their streams very much anymore, is because every time I go in there, I feel like people are like trying to boost me, and I'm like, guys, I'm just here to hang out. I don't want anybody. If you're a fan of the Game Chasers, and you were over there in their stream, I never wanted you to think that I was sitting there, trying to promote myself. That was not my intention. My intention was to support those guys because they're like my brothers. So that's the way I looked at it. But it got to the point where it was just like, I feel like I don't know. It's weird. Plus when Tim's there, everyone is laughing. Wraith, you're not kidding. Tim is a good dude. A good dude. And, but I just, like I said, I don't want to take away from the reason everybody's there. And that's to hang out with Jay and Tim or Billy or whatever. You know what I mean? And Greek is here. It's Fap time. Fap time. No, it's not fap time. I mean, maybe for you. You've had you've had your hand in literally everything. And Magnus, welcome. Tim's a controller breaker. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I did see that. I tried to watch episode 1 HAL 9000 edit with my mom. When we got to the part where Darth Maul showed up, she got scared and turned it off. Wow. Darth Maul is pretty awesome, though. And yes, Wraith, 1 week away. But really quick, before we get far into everything, I just wanted to bring this up because I thought it was important. Angela Lansbury, 96 years old, passed away today. Well, I'm not sure about. Yeah, it was today. Just 5 days short of her 97th birthday. Now, look, Murder, She Wrote is huge, right? That was a huge thing. She was very popular, all that kind of thing. A lot of people are going to know her, from Beauty and the Beast. I don't remember her character's name. But for me, Angela Lansbury, I know her from Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. That was one of my favorite shows growing up. Favorite movies. I loved that movie. But I just wanted to bring this up for those of you who might not have known, might not have heard about that. I just wanted to bring it up and just say, I mean, you had a great run, Ms. Lansbury. I mean, wow. What a career, what a life. It's a good thing. So, yeah. You get pretty scared too when Maul turns up, to be fair. Well, if you just showed him that, he'd probably be like, I don't want to mess with that. I'm probably going to overuse that for a while, and then I'll get tired of it, and the joke will get old, and then it'll be one of those things that just every now and then Bucho will pop up. So, you remember seeing a few episodes? Yeah. Masterpiece Theater? I mean, I'm not huge on Angela Lansbury's career. When I saw that, I was like, man, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. I loved that movie. It was just a cool movie. So, I think you're being hard on yourself. I'm sure if Jay or Billy or both came to an episode of Order 42, you would mention their channel too. Well, of course. But that it's different when it's a larger streamer or a larger YouTuber coming to a smaller one. You know what I mean? It's when I go there and then I didn't want people to think that they had to come over here or anything like that. It's a weird thing. I don't know. It's probably something wrong with me or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I'm just saying, yeah, that's the deal. And Emperor Caesar 12, welcome. Growing up, I was always hoping one of my murders would be featured in her show. Well, apparently, if she came around, everybody should be looking at their wills, because it seems like wherever she goes, death seems to follow. That's the thing about Murder, She Wrote, right? So it's just Ms. Potts. Yes, there you go. Thank you. Need a toasty icon. Toasty. Oh, almost like a. In fact, I could probably add a little audio thing to that, so he'd be like toasty, and then he'd just go away, just like the Mortal Kombat. But he'd have to come in from the right, so I'd have to. Let's see, how can I do that? Can I do that? Slide in from the left. Wait, is that right? No. Let me see. Hold on a second. I want to see if I can do that. And then hide to the left. So then he would come in. Oops. None of that worked. He's whatever. Anyway, you get what I'm trying to do. The golden age of Hollywood. I mean, look, there's it's weird how you think of that. There's probably still some people alive from that period, but what is the golden age really? You know what I mean? It's a weird one. She killed the stage version of Sweeney Todd. So dope. She's a legend. Well, there you go. There you go, Rufus. I first heard her in Beauty and the Beast and last saw her in The Picture of Dorian Gray. Wow. I never thought that for a second, and I didn't know, and you didn't know about me then. Okay. Well, it's probably just me. But hey. Saw The Lighthouse last Friday. It was an amazing movie. That's a weird one, man. That's a strange movie. I'm glad I watched it. Probably never see it again. Just, there you go. It's one of those where like, yeah, I'm glad I watched that. But I'm got to split for a bit, but I should be back later. Hopefully. I miss you already, Bucho. You do what you need to do. Okay. And you can just pop up whenever you're ready. Here, I'm gonna fix that. He needs to go left. And then let's see. Slide in. Let's just see if that works. There you go. There you go. I fixed it. So it was like, I don't know why. It's such a stupid thing. It's such a stupid thing. But man, it makes me laugh. I don't know. Need to do a drunk stream with Jay and set right between Jay and Tim. Well, here's the thing. I haven't drank at all. Well, I say at all. I haven't been doing much drinking since I was about 21. But then when I got sick, but every now and then I would have one here and there, But ever since I got sick, I was always worried about how it would affect my Crohn's, and how it affects my situation here. You know what I mean? Because it's weird. But yeah, I just hadn't done it. It'd be interesting to go over there and do that. But again, I always felt like it's like, man, I don't want to just butt in there, If they invited me over or something like that, cool. But it's not like the other thing too is that we're talking about streams that go into 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and I live about 45 minutes away from him. So it's not exactly easy to get to his place. I say that. I could do it. We just have to figure out when. And like I said, I don't want to butt in anybody else's time, So there you go. Used to watch Murder, She Wrote with my grandparents. Really makes me like, really makes me like Pushing Up Roses as she covers the show. Trying to figure out what you're trying to say there, but I think I get it. Or I'm just really dense, which is that's probably true. I think he was already dead and in purgatory. The captain was an angel sent to judge his spirit, and he failed. Oh, The Lighthouse. I was like, what are we talking about? That sounds crazy. There you go. And just like that, Bucho's gone. I know it. That's what happens. We need a Salacious Crumb laugh gift for the stream. That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Of course, I don't want it to come off like a laugh track either, though. You know what I mean? Like, I say something funny and then I do that and it's like, hey, okay, it's time for you to laugh now. But hey, it'd be fun. I don't know if I can get in trouble. I don't think I can get in trouble for that, can I? I don't know. Jay said anyone he's cool with has open door policy on his streams. You won't butt in. Melvor, however, it's true. Oh, Pushing Up Roses. Gotcha. Really likes. Okay, that makes perfect sense then. There you go. Pushing Up Roses, a YouTuber. Gotcha. See, I didn't know. I didn't know. I had no idea. But yeah, it's weird. I hadn't seen Melvor in a very long time, and this was, 2000. When was that? Early 2020, right before COVID. And I was thinking, because I heard Melvor was going to be there, and I'm like, all I'd seen was what I'd seen on the show, right? And it'd been like, years since I'd seen him, and I was like, he's probably going to be like, who is this guy and all this stuff, dude. Every single one of them are just super cool, And I always feel like I didn't want to ever come off as like the guy that's trying to take any kind of the spotlight or anything like that. And maybe that's just a personal thing because I guess I look at it as they've had amazing, this amazing growth and they've built that, you know, and I don't want to come in and mess with that at all. I guess that maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I was literally thinking of finally watching it tonight, but after that spoiler, I'm good. Zaki, I think it's still worth watching. It's still a good movie. It's not really exactly. There's a lot of ways that movie could be taken, I think. So I don't think that's a spoiler, what he's saying there. But hey, you do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Dawn of the Dead will be played in 3D at my theater this Halloween, and I will be there. That sounds like fun. Melvor should be there next week, but ask Jay about that. Oh, he'll be there. Oh, he'll be there. In fact, let's talk about that. I mean, Retropalooza is next week, guys. Next weekend, not this coming weekend, but next weekend. I'm so excited. You just don't know. We've got Leon flying in next Tuesday. So I don't know. I guess this is where I need to say I don't know how things are going to be going the next few weeks. Because Leon will be here. I'm assuming that he would want to come on stream. If not, no biggie. But at the same time, look, he's welcome. He knows he's welcome. I would hope that he knows that. We're just going to be doing the thing, But that also means that my videos should be probably a little spotty there too. Which actually reminds me, I've got a lot of prep to do. Because I'm going to be spending a lot of time with Leon, hanging out with Leon, showing him around. I mean, we did a lot of that in January and February. I think that's when he was here. Around the premiere. But yeah, it's gonna get wild. But anyway, Retropalooza. Look, Keith Coogan. I mean, this is hard to read. It's one of the things where I keep telling them, man, they need to change that background because it kind of makes the text hard to read. But yeah, this guy Keith Coogan's awesome. Look, I had a great time meeting him in Houston. We talked for a long time. Good guy. Really good guy. He was in Adventures in Babysitting. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Joey Kramer, of course, was in Flight of the Navigator. This guy, super nice. Super nice guy. I don't know Laura Faye Smith, Princess Rosalina for Super Mario Brothers games. Cool. Colleen O'Shaughnessy. Let's see. What was it? Sonic Boom, Wasp on Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Look. A lot of people. Samantha Kelly. Peach and Toad since 2007. But then Ryan Lambert and Andre Gower. These guys, I'm really excited to meet these guys. Because the Monster Squad was something I was so excited when I heard this. Monster Squad was one of those movies I watched a ton of times when I was young. So yeah. The Completionist, Boogie, the 8-bit guy. Norm, I haven't met Norm yet. I'm excited to meet Norm. Andre Meadows, I don't think I've met him. No, I haven't met him. So it's going to be cool to meet him. Pixel Dan, of course. Pat the NES Punk, of course. Those guys. Retro Rick, I met him. Eric, Game Dave. I mean, come on. Game Dave is coming. Tafetta Darling is awesome. Tyler, My Retro Life, super cool dude. Can't wait to see him again. Dr. Cosplay, I haven't met this person. Dearest Abby, Sarah Bellum, Claire Deadfield, of course, Chief, the Attic Invaders, G to the Next Level. He was a cool guy. Ranchan? I haven't met her. Robert Goodrick, and of course, we got to cancel. But look, I'm excited. I am excited about this. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I'm also going to try to see if I can have Dave and Martin, because someone that's not on there is Martin Barabee, or Barreby. I'm not good at the pronunciations, but he's from Sweden, and he did the score for the Adventures in Game Chasing movie. So he is coming in, I believe, on Thursday next week, and he will be there for the screening of Adventures in Game Chasing Friday night. So you want to be there if you're coming to see Adventures in Game Chasing. You want to make sure that you're there for Friday night so you can see that. So yeah, I'm excited. Real chodes for sure. That's why we love them. I know it. Honestly, number-wise, they are hurting. Think you lending your presence will help and maybe talk them into putting out shorts to pull more folks? They need to. Yeah, I mean, the weird thing is retro gaming is one of those things that it comes and goes in waves. And now we're getting to the point where, as we're kind of aging up, right? We're watching less content, and that retro stuff is now becoming like the Super Nintendo, and then up to the, to maybe the first Xbox and the PlayStation 1. You know what I mean? It's what's considered retro now is stuff that's a lot newer. So it is going to be interesting how things play out for those guys. But I think that's partially why we're wanting to do this podcast, where it's we talk about movie news, game news, and stuff like that. I mean, it's not going to be like this. This is whatever this is. This is a whatever stream. But that's going to be a different thing. Hopefully, we're going to do that. And Greek, I didn't see that, but yes, come back later. Come back later. I want to ask as many people about that Stewie Star Wars question about the Emperor's Test. And yeah, Rob and Leon, I mean, look, we did it once. And in fact, I think that stream is on YouTube. It's on my channel. And the first part of it was just me and Leon, and then Jay popped in. So that was a really, really fun show. I think it'll be really cool. So that would be cool. Yeah. I'm just going to be saving money because some stuff come up, but I'm not missing Retropalooza. Yeah, you need to be there. You totally need to be there. But anyway, yeah. Dave and Martin, I want to get them to sign my poster. So I can have like the most signatures on my poster. I don't know if they'll come over here or if I'll have to take it. I'll probably have to take it there. But yeah. That text reminds me of the old days of MySpace or an old PC game from the 90s where they used live actors. Oh, yes. Yeah, on that website. Yeah. That chick from Adventures in Babysitting is in The Boys. It's so rad. Really? You're kidding. I didn't know that. Andre is great. Eric looks like Jesus. Yeah, that picture of Eric is definitely... it's definitely like that, yeah. Wait a minute. You said audio is out of sync. Can anyone confirm this? Have you seen Wolfman's Got Nards, the Monster Squad doc? Is it on the Blu-ray? Because if so, yes. My Retro Life makes me cry. I love his story and how sentimental he is. Tyler's just an amazing guy. He's just an amazing guy. And any success that he gets, completely well-deserved. Love that guy. So, yeah. Ron G is G to the Next Level's wife who streams as well. Oh, I didn't know that. Audio synced okay to me. Okay. Audio's perfect. Strange. Yeah, that's weird. You know what happens to me is... which is probably one of these things where I shouldn't admit this. But every now and then I do watch on like 1.5 speed if it's a long stream. But what it does is the audio starts cutting out for me, and I have to put it back to normal and then put it back to 1.5, which is a weird thing. But there you go. She's the head of the company. Really? Huh. Or Eric looks like Charlie Manson. Hey. I hate even more to be that guy, honestly. I think it's because I was watching the background before it started. I mean, maybe. I don't know. That's a weird thing. But I'm glad it's okay now. I'm glad it's okay now. You're going to have to give me just a second. I just have to no. It's not anything nefarious or weird or FAP related. No, I have to blow, my nose started running. So I just need to blow my nose real quick. Just real quick. Okay. Just real quick. I'll be right back. Right back. No, no, no. No powdering my nose. Nothing like that. Over the hill. No. 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 None of that. OBS and DaVinci steal a lot of resources even in the back. Yeah, for whatever reason, I don't have any issues until I start actually streaming, and then it starts really starting to cook. You can't hear it because I have a lot of the stuff. What is that? It's like the audio filters where it takes out some of the audio. But yeah, as soon as I hit start streaming, my fans kick up on my computer. It's just noise gate. Yes, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. Scorn is coming out this Friday and the Callisto Protocol in December, also a Dead Space remake in January. Are you interested in any of them? I have to be honest, I'm not sure what Scorn is. Callisto Protocol looks cool. Dead Space remake, I mean, fine. I've never played them. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe. It's one of those things where a lot of times, this is going to sound stupid, but I've always been I'll just watch. Yeah, I'm cool. I don't need to play it. Go ahead. Like if I'm over to we were over to friend's house younger, I'd watch them play. I just never was that interested in playing. And when I do play something, or when I do really get involved in a game, it's weird how I get like super addicted to it for like a bit of time, and then I'll just stop it and I just won't play it again. Like I played Link to the Past more times than you can imagine. And then I just stopped playing video games. And then I got a Game Boy Advance. I got Link to the Past and played it like 7 times. Played Aria of Sorrow, Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow. Like, I mean, so many times. But then I'll just put it away and I won't play it again. Then recently, I got into the recent new season of Diablo 3. And I'll pick it up and just blow through some stuff for a while. And then won't play another video game for months. It's a weird thing. But I totally get those because man, those games look awesome. They really look good. Callisto Protocol in particular looks amazing. But a lot of times I'll just turn on a stream and watch someone play and go, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. But then I'll never go buy it. It's just the way it works. It's part of the reason why I never wanted to watch a stream of Cyberpunk or Guardians or the God of War games. I wanted to play those, but I still haven't played them. It's just a weird thing. Now, Wraith said, what stereotypes do you hate about Texans? There's a few of them. Number one, there are definitely segments of our population that are, how can I put this lightly? Definitely Republican. Definitely, waving their Trump flags even now. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, guys, you lost. But these are also some of the same people that were flying Confederate flags, and I'm just like, I don't get it. What do you feel like? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but not even that far away from me. That is one of the things that I hate being reduced to that, because I live in Texas. Um, I don't know. I guess I'm educated. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I just don't get it. I don't understand that kind of thinking. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing. I just don't get it. You really think that this guy that owns multiple hotels actually cares about you? Seriously? Really? He doesn't give about it. Anyway, I'm not going into that. It's politics. Not my thing. The other thing is, no, I don't ride a horse. Don't ride a horse to work. I've ridden a horse maybe 3 times in my life. I will say that I would like to. If I had the ability to, I would love to. Horses are awesome. They're super smart, they're loyal, they're beautiful, and it's fun to ride a horse. It's fun. And there's something about that power, you can feel the power and all that kind of stuff. It's awesome. And yeah, you could say, oh yeah, then feel the power between your legs. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's something about it. It's, you feel close to nature, all that kind of thing. But no, I don't ride a horse to work or ever really. Just saying. Hold on a second. I just saw something. Oh, well, look at that. There's a nighttime button that changes the look of things. That actually looks a lot better. There you go. Anyway. But yeah. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like, no, I don't live in the country. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Other than, yeah. Check out Scorn. It's an HR Giger FPS. Uh-oh. I'm an HR Giger. Dead Space remake, Callisto for me. Dead Space is a fantastic horror game. Very interesting. Remake for me. All I got is a Switch right now. Would you be down to do a podcast or other collab on a smaller channel? I really feel like we'd bounce off each other well. My main channel is this size, but just Rockstar, my retro and side channel. Rufus, hit me up, dude. I just love being on shows. I don't care how many people are watching. I don't care. No. Hit me up. Bonobo Juice. Welcome, Bonobo Juice. I need some stuff like Bonobo Juice. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Bonobo Juice. And this is one of those things where I know he probably is like, dude, you don't have to pimp my channel out. But dude, very talented guy, artwork, all that kind of stuff. Very talented, very funny. And Bonobo Juice, this is something that that you might have. I don't look. He's just there. He's there, and then he's gone. Bucho comes in, then he leaves. That's just the way it works. But welcome, sir. There's some major idiots here, but that's everywhere. Yeah, I mean, it is true. But it's also like, yeah, I love it, dude. I don't know why, dude. I seriously cracking up making this. Just like, I don't know. And then you can do the whole, oh God, Bucho, hey, just back off, man. Back off. It's just funny. I don't know why. I'm so stupid. Be careful with the politics. Easy way to cut off half your audience. True. But the thing is it's just one of those things, man. I everywhere I go, it's just like, guys, you realize that all this is doing is amping you up and getting you upset. Just calm down. Can you live in Dallas and never leave? I mean, sure. But it's, go out in the country and there you go. Shirtless Rob in jeans with the hair flowing, galloping. Oof. So I don't yell yeehaw? No. Mm-mm. But yeah, I mean, look, Texas is a I for the most part enjoy most of the weather here. It's just the problem is sometimes it's like it's either way too hot or way too cold. Those really nice days are very few and far between. And then it's like, oh, I just went into the store and I came out and now there's a tornado. That's a thing. But for the most part, hey, Texas is pretty cool. I wonder if there's someone there like Boomhauer. Oh, for sure. Like, no question there is. No question. Imagine someone being born in Dallas and never leaving from birth. I mean, there's a lot of people that do that. A lot of people. Now, really quick, I want to talk about a few things that, like books and things and stuff. So real quick, I just want to say I finished A Crown of Swords. That was it was fine. A lot of people have said there's 14 books plus a prequel for Wheel of Time. And a lot of people say that this book 7, 8, 9, and 10 they call it the slog. Book 7 was fine. I had no problems getting through it. It was a little bit slow, but nothing that bad. I liked it. I'm looking forward to the next book, in the series. But anyway, now I'm reading The Republic of Thieves, the third book in the Gentleman Bastards trilogy, which apparently there's a new book coming out in February, which I'm excited about because I'll be caught up and I'll be ready to read it. But man, I'm telling you, if you like well-written, witty crime, but like back in like it's kind of an alternate universe because there's magic, but it's also like, I don't know, it's like the 1200s, 1300s. It's awesome. It's just an awesome book. Awesome book. So yeah, I'm only like a chapter and a half in and I'm like, this is awesome. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good reading that. Also, I wanted to bring up for Caleb. Caleb, you're still here, right? I'm sure you are. Caleb, I got a subscription. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it, but I got a subscription to Funimation. Now, the reason is because I'm really interested in, Star Blazers. I didn't even know this was a thing. That they basically took the original Star Blazers, like their whole, that whole backstory or that story, and they redid it. And I'm like 8 episodes into season 1, and I'm like, dude, I'm loving this. So yeah, Star Blazers. I don't know. Does anybody remember Star Blazers? Billy and I were talking about this the other day because he loves Star Blazers, and like, why isn't it on Blu-ray and all this kind of stuff? So I started looking into it, and I'm like, okay, sure, the original series isn't on Blu-ray, but there's this. So it's basically like a remake, but oh man, it's cool. It's cool. So, Caleb, what I need from you is possibly, and from anyone else that may be into the anime. I know that you've said Perfect Blue, and that is on my list. It's going to happen, okay? But what I'm talking about is something that I can watch maybe on Funimation after I get through Star Blazers. So, if you got any suggestions, recommendations, let me know. Okay? Did you read any of the Witcher novels or play any Witcher games? I did play. I've purchased Witcher 3 times, and I've gotten about, I don't know, an hour in. I can't get into it. But I keep thinking this time it's going to be different. It never is. It's just not for me. Now I like the Witcher series on Netflix, but I've heard that there's some problems with that too. But yeah. And Phil. Okay, we got Phil and Oscar here. Welcome, guys. I didn't see you guys come in. But yeah, so yeah, I've tried it and I just can't get into it. I don't know why. It just doesn't grab me. So there you go. Wheel of Time, that series no one watched on Prime. I know it and didn't watch. I mean, that's for certain. But the weird thing is, my Wheel of Time videos that I did on the series actually did pretty well. One of them got like really good views. But I get what you're saying. It's not the best. The series is not the best. The books, on the other hand, holy crap, they're awesome. They're really, I mean, I think they're great. I really, really enjoy them. So, that's why I'm still reading it, because I got into it. I started reading them before the series came out and then got sucked into it. No, actually what I did was, I had a version of the first Wheel of Time book on my computer. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I started reading it and I'm like, dude, I'm digging this. I'm digging this story. So I think I'm gonna go and buy them. And I started looking into it and I found a good deal on the set, the whole series, and just went ahead and bought it. So I bought it. It's on my Kindle. I had the whole series. It's great. I'm really enjoying it. Did any book ever make me cry? I'm pretty sure that, I mean, of course, it has to, I mean, dude, yes, probably. I cry at everything. I cry in all kinds of things. I know the Harry Potter books, that last book, there were some moments that definitely got me. A couple of Stephen King stories actually got me. 11/22/63, I think it is probably what? Dude.
Had to let all my memberships lapse, but I got a good check today. Thanks for all you do, giving us a place to chill and not feel like we're strange. Most of us in chat are the experts of our hour with no peers. Thank you.
Rufus. Dude. Wow. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that so much. Wow. That's awesome. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. But no, I mean, that's the thing. We should be, you never should feel that way. And that's what I like about Order 42, is it just encompasses everything, you know? And we can just hang out and have fun. And we want to be silly, we can be silly. If we want to talk about a book, we can talk about a book or a comic or whatever. And it's fun. So Rufus, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And seriously, hit me up. We'll do a thing. I'm trying to think though, if there's anything else that completely took me, like completely threw me off a loop there. That's probably it. But if I had more time to think, because I've read a lot of stuff. And there's probably been times when, just a sentence will just, get a tear going. But because I'm also one of those that I can just cry at will. Just one of those weird guys that can do that. So, but yeah. But thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad the thing worked. The actual text-to-speech worked. That's awesome. The Book of Mormon. I'm really into Philip K. Dick, Kurt Vonnegut, K.W. Jeter, Tim Powers, James P. Blaylock, and William Gibson. William Gibson, you say that. I need to find it. And I always forget to look for it until I see the name, and then I'm like, oh man, I need to get that. I want to get his version of Alien 3 that they put in like a graphic novel, but it's like a hardback. I want to get that. I'm going to put that on I need to put that on my list somewhere. Do I have a list? Do I have a list that I can put this on? Search for William Gibson Alien. I want to get that. Like, seriously. I seriously want to get it. Let's get caught up here. And Oscar, I did see you. Thank you. Welcome for being here. Thank you for being here, is what I meant to say. Kingdom you'd love. Okay. Claymore and Gangsta. I'm just saying, hey. Throw them in that Discord. Did I quit your job? Did I quit my job for the Game Chasers movie? Yes, Rich, I did. Some might have said that was a mistake, but yes, I did. I went to lunch went to dinner with Billy on like a Wednesday. This was like this 2019, right before Labor Day, the week before Labor Day. Went to dinner with him at Whataburger. He sat down, said, hey, I want you to be a part of this, all that. And I said, dude, I'd love to. I just, I'd probably have to do it on the weekends or whatever. And he goes, I want you to be script supervisor. I'm like, what the hell's that? Or actually I was like, yeah, of course. And then on the way home, I'm like, what the hell's a script supervisor? He sends me the script. Over the weekend, I start making plans to sell all the cool stuff that I have, try to monetize it so I can quit my job. And for whatever reason, my wife said, yeah, let's do it. And yeah, I went in Monday. In fact, I think that Monday is when we all filmed that Blockbuster video that's on the Game Chasers channel. And then, that might have been Sunday. But I went in, the first thing I did Tuesday morning when I went into work was put in my 2-week notice. Yeah. It was crazy. And it's been an amazing journey so far. It's been over 3 years, and it's been crazy to think, oh my God, 3 years. But yeah. And so I helped with the movie, a lot of the movie. Witcher 3 is all you need to play if you play any. Yeah, that's the one that I bought like 3 times. I bought it on PC. I bought it on... Oh, maybe only twice. Because I thought I was going to buy it on Switch, but then I was like, why am I going to buy it again? But I did buy it on PlayStation, and it was like super cheap, Steins Gate is the best sci-fi story ever told in anime and love action, so definitely that. Okay. Witcher 3, oh my gosh. Dude, I'm so behind. Witcher 3 is great, but so many side quests, too many to count, and I got sidetracked so much I forgot about the game. That's a thing. Seeing that YouTube video of that pregnant woman fighting was ridiculous. Okay. Didn't see that. I love chilling with my fellow experts. It's awesome. Rob does put up with a lot. I mean, I don't know about that. And normal is kind of boring. Yeah, Rufus, right? Rob's a good egg, and everyone here are decent people, and that's what I want. I want people that are just, let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. There are a lot of books that are better than their movie counterparts, but any movie you feel is better than the book. I'll tell you, the only one that I can think of off the top of my head, it's the best example that I have. There's probably more. Well, there's 2 actually. I would say that, okay, maybe 3. Okay. Rob, you started with 1, then 2, then 3. Okay. One of them is The Firm. John Grisham's The Firm. Tom Cruise, Gene Hackman, right? You remember this movie? The entire third act is changed from the book. And I was a big fan of the book. I really liked the book. I got into John Grisham when he was hot. And read a bunch of his stuff, but I really loved The Firm. So I was really excited. It's like Tom Cruise as Mitch McDear. Is that his name in the movie? Yeah. I like that. I like that story. Mitch McDear. Anyway, really excited to see it. Then things start changing, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And by the end of it, I'm like, okay, that's so much better than the book. It was so much better than the book. It's perfect. If you know, then you know. If not, just watch the movie. Don't worry about the book. The book is good, but the movie's better. The other one, the other two, may be The Mist, Stephen King. His ending was changed. Frank Darabont changed the ending, and Stephen King actually wrote him after he saw the movie, and he said, I could never really come up with a great ending for that, but if I had thought of that, that is the ending I would have gone with. Because the ending of The Mist is wow. Wow. The other one is probably Shawshank Redemption, because the story was very bare bones. It was a short story, and I think it's in different seasons, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption, I think is what it's called. The movie's just perfect, man. That movie's great. So there you go. That's what I think, Zaki. I've got huge balls to do that. It's weird. We were in a situation that, and I know I'm behind, I'm sorry, but that's what happens on this show. But you guys wrote in. I want to at least acknowledge what you've said. I think what it was more than anything is that it's a combination of things, because I went through all that stuff with my health. We were in a position where my wife was making pretty damn good money. I was making okay money, not as much as my wife, but okay money. Like, for somebody who never graduated high school, never graduated college, I should say. I graduated high school. I was doing really well, but I was just, it's so weird, man. That job was just eating me alive, and I wasn't working crazy hours, but it was a very stressful job. And when this came along, it was like, okay, this is a break that I can use this break. But it ended up being a thing where we kept doing things, and my wife kept getting raises. It was weird how it worked. It's almost like it was meant to happen. So I'm in a very, very advantageous position. It's why I look, Rufus, I definitely appreciate your donation for sure. But I also know that the fact is I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. So I never thought that I wanted to push for that or anything like that. I just wanted to create a place where, if it were for me, like, I wanted to create a place that for me, right? Like a place where I would love to hang out. So yeah, that's how it happened. I'm too much of a pussy to have done that. Well, like I said, I was very, very lucky, and I have a seriously amazing wife. She is insanely amazing. Okay. And all I try to do when I'm not doing something for Order 42 or for the Game Chasers, I'm trying to make sure that she's happy. And I struggle with that because sometimes I'm not the most thoughtful person. I get just locked in my own mind, and I'm just, I'm thinking about this and whatever. But I try to do my best to make it worth it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to do. Do I listen to Kanye West? No, I don't. I like a couple of his songs, but yeah. Billy is legend. Man saved my life. He hates that, but Game Chasers was huge, making some of his folks not feel so crazy. And that's one of the things that, oh my God, I'm so behind. Oh my God. Yeah, it's the one thing when we were doing our podcast, it was amazing how many, like, we were just doing it just to be goofy and fun and whatever, but we became part of someone's routine. And that was the thing that I I really appreciated that they were basically bringing us into their lives, and in like, and we were all better for it, and it was an amazing thing. So I've really, for the longest time, I had admired what Billy and Jay had done, building the Game Chasers from afar, because like I said, I didn't want to be that guy. Oh, you're doing something cool, let me be a part of it. Didn't want to be that guy. So when he said, "Hey, let's do this movie," I was like, "Yeah, dude, I want to do it. Let's see what I can do." Was thinking, yeah, I'd probably work on the weekends. So I probably would have worked like 3 days on the movie, maybe. And after I read those first 8 pages, I was like, nope, I'm in, and I want to be a part of this. And if I don't do it, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. So I'm really glad I did it. So, but yeah, those guys are amazing. Whataburger Billy really pushed the boat out. Love back in the campaign. I've seen it so many times, like 7, maybe 10. Well, it sounds like you've seen it as much as I have, because I did the subs for the Blu-rays. I hope they work. But doing that meant I had to watch the movie a lot. A lot. Blood and Wine is the only game you need to play if you're a fan of the Witcher novels. You'd be better off buying it on Steam Deck. And not Gary, well, what is up? Sorry, I'm so far behind, but yeah. I hope I don't drive Rob or chat nuts. Caleb, you're doing fine, dude. Doing fine. I felt I would have loved The Witcher 3, but for whatever reason, I got into it an hour or so every time and leave it for another year or two. That's me. That's me. Now that you learned the job thoroughly, you think you'll ever apply to script supervise other projects? That's a great question. Scat. Scott. Sir. Bonobo juice. I almost did. And what I realized is I don't know if I can do it. Not because I can't do the job, because I think I could do the job. The biggest problem is I don't have any passion for those projects. So what I would have to do is, in order to be a script supervisor, you have to know that script backwards and forwards. Seriously, you have to read it seriously like 20 times. And you have to make notes. You have to highlight things. You have to have things the little flags you put on page. Dude, you really have to go nuts with it. And you have to make sure that you know that thing backwards and forwards, because of continuity, because you shoot out of order, right? But if I don't care about the movie, it's going to be hard for me to do that. I know that I'm never probably going to be a journeyman person where I work on a bunch of different movies. Now, we'll see what happens. But right now, I'm just focused on trying to work with these guys to make the next movies. And then hopefully something happens. That's how I look at it. Script supervisor, though, is, I don't know, just not my thing. Honestly, I mean, there's a lot of things that I would like to do for a movie. But most of it would probably be stuff that I have no business doing, like directing. I want to direct, is what I want to do eventually. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm waiting to watch it on the 50-inch till the Blu-ray. Dude, I've watched it. I have it. I have multiple. I'm lucky because I've got to work on the movie. I've seen many different cuts of the movie, many different changes. So I've been able to watch them on my TV in the living room with the 5.1. Dude, I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. I'm excited for everybody to see it again that way. So some of you, there's very few people who got to see it in 5.1. So it's exciting. I think all movies are better than books because I hate reading. Not me. See, to me, the Lord of the Rings, those books are, you can't. The Hobbit, no way. No Country for Old Men movie is better than the book. Same with Starship Troopers. I have not read that. Any of those. I read The Road. Man, that was a rough read. Okay, sorry. Way behind. ADHD, me too. I just look at it like meditation. It's good for us. Find you an author, bro. Exactly. And like I said, I've said this many times. If you ever have trouble, if you're reading a book and you're like, man, I just keep, my mind wanders and all this stuff, dude, seriously, get a library card, right? Through your phone, and get yourself electronic copies of the books and electronic copies of the audiobooks for free. And you can listen to the book as you're reading it. I'm telling you, you retain more, you can read faster. It's awesome. It's my favorite way to read. Unfortunately, Republic of Thieves, somebody's checked out the audiobook, but I've got the copy already. I'm reading it, and luckily the story's so good, I'm locked in. So, in this world, I wouldn't say it's a detriment. Get some fake books. Get some fake books. Some people won't sleep with you if you don't have books. It's awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind. I keep saying that. I don't sleep with anyone. Sleeping with people leads to kids. No thanks. Buy a figure. LOL. Love what you do. Rob's wife for kicking ass in her job. No kidding. No kidding. Dirk Pitt novels. Hey. It's all good. Okay, we're talking about condoms. Okay. Wait, you ever read Gates of Fire by Scott Pressfield? Battle of 300 from the perspective of a slave that was like a squire. A Navy SEAL died and had that book with him. I got curious why he would carry it with him, so I checked it out. It was amazing. Okay, I need to put that on the list. Where's my reading list? Okay, that's my actual reading list. Where's my, to read list? Holy crap, where is it at? Books to read. And I've actually got The Sword of Truth by Wraith on here too. Gates of Fire, Scott Pressfield, and that was Oscar. Got it. Thank you. Dude, I'm always up for recommendations, man. Steam Deck, I hear the battery's awful. I want a Steam Deck. And I have no business buying a Steam Deck. Like zero. I have a Switch and I never play it not docked. But I want one. Because I guess I'm an electronics whore. The needing passion to be willing thing. Why don't you lug lights around, Rob? What are they called? Grips? Yeah, see, I don't want to do that. I've seen it. It is not fun work. I helped, but it is not something I want to do. I like to be in the midst of the creative process. That's what gets me going, and trying to figure out, okay, here's what we got to do. We got to figure out how to shoot this. And there are things that as I was reading the script for Adventures in Game Chasing, I'm sitting there and I'm seeing how I would do it. And like in my head, in my brain, you know what I mean? And that's when I realized, okay, I'm a director, because I know what I would want shot. I know how I would frame this. I know how I would, you know what I mean? So that's one of those things where that's one of those things where it made me realize it when we were making the movie, that it was like, I'm looking around at all these guys. I'm like, look, I love all these people. These people are amazing at what they do, and I don't want to do any of it. I want to be a director. I want to be the guy that's comes up with the thing, you know? That's just how I look at it. Now, like I said, I'll probably never be able to direct anything, but I know how I like things framed. I know how I like things shot. I know what I like when I'm seeing a movie. So yeah, that's it. Now the whole thing is we need to come up with movies to make. That's the tough part, you know? I don't play my Steam Deck longer than 20 minutes to an hour portable anyway, so battery doesn't bother me. Going to see Black Adam next Thursday in Arlington. Recommend a good theater there. Yeah, there's, let's see, in Arlington, probably the best one is at the Parks. There are, I mean, honestly, a lot of them are good now. The Cinemarks, there's a lot of Cinemark theaters. They have the XD screens, which I would assume Black Adam will be playing on the XD screens. Yeah, man, freaking Black Adam. I totally forgot that was that whole weekend. We probably won't get to see it because Thursday we'll have Dave. Dave's flying in Thursday. Martin's flying in Thursday. Then Friday we have the movie. So yeah, I may not be able to see it until later, if at all. Because the thing is, man, I don't know, man. Black Adam, I don't know. It's not doing it for me. But yes, AMC, Cinemark. I wouldn't go to anything other than an AMC, a Cinemark. Rave Motion Pictures is good, but I think they went out of business. I think. Those are the best in the area. Ted Millich is here. Welcome, Ted. List of anime is now in Discord. Yes. Don't I read any historical novels or military history? Not really. And the reason is, well, I read a little bit. It has to be about a thing that I'm really interested in. For example, I read 1776 by David McCullough, and it got me interested in that Revolutionary War. And this was back in 2017, I think is when I read that. And I let my wife read it. She loved it. And she said, we need to make a trip to the Northeast. So we took a trip to the Northeast and saw a lot of the historical stuff. It was amazing seeing some of the stuff and standing on the places where some of these battles were fought was just amazing. And I love that. That's what so it's like, they have to be like specific things, you know? Or, hey, this is a book about samurai or whatever, stuff like that. But not really military history. Yeah. Must be challenging working with the megachodes, Billy and Jay. You know, it's weird. They're one of those guys. They're just, it's so funny and weird to me. Like, we'll be sitting there just chilling, hanging out. And then all of a sudden, Billy gets up and he's doing something. And then all of a sudden, he's like, all right, you sit here, you sit here. Okay, let's go. Okay, we're on. You know what I mean? It's such a weird thing that I'm not used to. I'm still not used to that. I kind of have to, like for this show, I kind of have to be ready to do this show. I kind of have to prepare myself and think about what I'm going to talk about and stuff like that. I don't just, all right, go. It's weird. And even in like, if you guys saw the Munsters video, the Munsters review we did, I was sitting there looking at my phone because I'm like, I don't remember what I thought about. Like, I don't remember what I put down as far as my notes go. So there's parts where I'm like looking down at my phone and you're probably like, dude, pay attention, you jackass, you know? But I'm sitting there going, what did I write down? So they have an ability to just do that stuff. And I guess it comes with practice. I mean, they've been doing it for 10 plus years. So they're really good at it. I'm not good at that yet. I got to prepare and think and actually get my... I just saw Arlington Coat Factory. Bonobo juice. Good. So yeah. Isn't there a drive-in in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? There are, but they're just outside of the Metroplex, and I probably wouldn't go to them. Last one that I saw was in an area where I'm like, that might not be the best area at night. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. But it's weird how they're super professional when it's time to be professional. It's strange. And I'm still not used to it. But do a sequel to The Lighthouse and call it The Waffle House 2. Make it about a minimum wage worker and a slob manager's trapped in the restaurant during COVID-19. Well, it sounds like you've already got the story, so you write it. That's the thing, man. I think that XD screens are sort of, sorry, I'll come back to it. XD screens are like basically the wide format. They're almost like really, really large screens. So if you get the XD, those are like, it's a really big screen and it's a big theater. So yeah, there you go. I will say this. Writing is one of those things where the more you do it, the better you get, of course. But just think of something and start writing it. It's one of the things that I started doing there for a while, and this was before Order 42 actually. I would sit down and just think about a thing that I wanted to write about, and I would just start writing about it. And over time, you start to realize you start to get a flow for things, and it helps if you read a lot too. But I started, like, there were times where I'm like, okay, that's very Stephen King, the way that I read that, or the way that I wrote that. And then there are other times where it's such an interesting thing writing to me. And the way that Stephen King talks about it, he has an audiobook called On Writing, or it's a book, but he narrates the audiobook. I would highly recommend it. If you're ever interested in writing, read that, because he has stories about how things happen for him and how he works and stuff like that. And it's fascinating. It really is fascinating. But that's how the guy ends up with so many short story collections, is he'll just think of a thing and start writing about it, and suddenly it's a story. Sometimes that story doesn't have an ending. We've seen that happen. Sometimes he'll start writing and go, okay, this is actually a novel. And so he'll go back and flush it out. But sometimes he'll still get to the ending and botch it, like Under the Dome. That book, terrible ending. Great book, but terrible ending. So it's one of those things where it's really kind of interesting. And I think for me, I have an outline of things, and I kind of follow the outline. And sometimes I'll find myself going off on this tangent, and then suddenly I'm writing about that tangent, and that'll become a thing. So it's really kind of interesting stuff. So Magnus, you should write it. Maybe not a sequel to The Lighthouse, but. And Oscar's talking about that Navy SEAL. Supposedly took that book everywhere with him. See, that's cool. That's cool. We got good drive-in theaters. I love it. Horror movies are dark as shit. My eyes hurt after the double feature, but I love it. See, I would love to do it too, but there are no good ones around here. At least that I know of. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Crazy temperatures. Usually it's really cold or really hot. And then we get these storms that come out of nowhere and tear up stuff. And I mean, I can understand why drive-ins aren't exactly, But I used to love the drive-in. There was a drive-in in my hometown that we used to go to all the time. It's where I saw, I think I saw Ghostbusters there. I think I saw Gremlins there. The last movie I saw there was Full Metal Jacket. I've told that story. I was 11. Probably shouldn't be watching Full Metal Jacket, but there you go. I do hope Billy and Jay can reinvent that channel. Retro collecting is dead. 7,000 pounds for Earthbound. Oh my God, 1,500 pounds for a copy of Snatch. Yeah, it is. Still here, letting you catch up. It's been a rad stream. Thank you, Rufus. Thank you. Yeah, it's a weird thing. I mean, the thing is, I think those guys are talented enough to come up with something new, and I think part of the reason we're wanting to work on these movies is because it gives us a new avenue to do stuff. But the thing is, they still have rabid fans, and I have become one of them. Like, I am a fan of the show. I really love the show. It doesn't have to be all about game chasing, but at the same time, I get it. It's called the Game Chasers. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Leather recliners, it. With the hit the button and dude, they're awesome. They're awesome. On writing is great practically for anything creative. Yes, it's awesome. It is so awesome. I just love it. And I've listened to it multiple times. It's just really, really good. Saw Toombod. Definitely a weird movie, but pretty good. I mean, it's so different than anything that I'd seen. I mean, I don't even want to say anything about the movie other than what I said in my review, and basically say, if you like horror movies and you want to see something different, give it a shot. You may love it. You may hate it. All I know is I came away, I wouldn't say that I loved it. It's not the best movie ever. Like, to me, RRR and Bahubali, as far as Indian movies go, holy crap, those movies are amazing. But this one is like, especially when you find out that it's so low budget and you're watching this and you're going, how? This movie looks amazing. This movie looks really good for the cost. So, yeah. As I sit on a copy of Under the Dome, it's so damn good. Why is it not on History Channel? Oh, what are you talking about? Are you talking about that book? Was watching Justice League with my son at New Braunfels Drive-In when the second worst storm I've been caught in hit so bad 18-wheelers stopped next to overpasses to not flip due to the wind. Yeah, sorry. That's scary. Rich people have snatched retro collecting out of normal people's hands. I have a good job, Rob, but me and other 9-to-5 workers won't be dropping thousands of pounds on retro games. I totally get it, man. And that's part of it. Oh, why are the Game Chasers not on the History Channel? I don't know. It's even built to have ad breaks. You know what I mean? It's amazing. It's really, really good. Yeah, that Texas weather. Man. But the thing is, Phil, it's I totally get it, man. I just don't know what they want to do, you know? And I'm sure Billy, they've come up with different reasons, but the thing is that there was nothing like that. And of course, then you get people like Beat 'em Ups, who goes from being a retro channel, a lot like the Game Chasers, to being a Switch channel. And now look at him now. So you never know. The problem is, I think Billy, he's more into the production side anyway, you know? And I think, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. All I know is I want to make more movies and with them, because it is not only fun, but there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I've done all kinds of jobs and I've done all kinds of different cool things in my life. Very, very lucky to have been a part of a pretty popular podcast. I was on an independent record label. I got to make a movie. How many people? I'm incredibly lucky. Okay. There's nothing like being on a movie set, man. There's nothing like it. And that okay, we got to figure out how to do this now that this is not here or this is gone. The problem solving, that the creativity that just comes out of nowhere, but then it becomes this thing where it's a thing that you're all sharing. You're all working toward one common goal. And it's amazing. It's just an amazing experience. So I want that all the time. All the time. I just drop like $20 to $100 a week on games, but I don't drive and no lady in my life by design. Pierce professionally, so I'm pretty blessed since last June. Pierce professionally? Caleb? Oh boy. Now, for those of you who are still with me on the book stuff, just for a second, I got a couple things to show you, okay? Now, a few weeks ago, like a month and a half ago, I showed you these. I got these from Abe Books. Now, I was looking for, of course, the copy of The Hobbit. But then when I saw, hey, supposedly these, I was like, cool. And these, like, this one is like complete. This one's not bad, I guess. If I cleaned it up, it'd probably be bad, or not bad. This one isn't even. This is either a British or a Canadian version of The Two Towers, but it's a paperback. This one didn't show the correct thing. It said 1981. This is clearly from after the movie came out. And then these both showed 1981. These are clearly from the last couple of years. So I've been waiting to get a return thing on RMA for this, right? So I can return those. That's over $100 in used books that I don't need. They still haven't contacted me. I've contacted them over and over and over again, and they still won't send me an RMA kit or hey, here's whatever. I don't care if I have to pay for shipping. I just don't need them, and I want my money back. They won't do it. So be careful when you're buying from Abe Books. Okay? Just saying. Just saying. You put holes in folks. Gotta drink that tea. But that's one of the things that I need to start doing more often is drinking more liquids, not necessarily alcohol or anything. I got my water too. Yeah. Because wow. For as much as I talk, man. I was watching Game Chaser Season 5. He went to a game shop and picked up a bunch of games in box. $100. These days on his purchase, then it would be a demand $850. Yes. From Abe Lincoln himself. No. But yeah, Abe, look, the thing is, Abe Books is probably fine for most people, but I contacted them and I said, what is your return policy? I'm fairly certain that these are not going to be what I want, but I want to make sure before I hit the button to buy these that I can return them. And he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. It's been a month and a half now. So it's irritated me because I have over $100 just sitting there in books that I don't need. Abe is all for charity. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just a used, like an aggregator for used books. So there's a bunch of different sellers. It's kind of like eBay, but it's only for books. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but it's irritating. When did you first read Lord of the Rings, and what Lord of the Rings video games did you like to play? I first read Lord of the Rings probably when I heard about the movies. Because it was one of those things where it's like, I loved The Hobbit. I'd read The Hobbit like 2 or 3 times, but I kept having people tell me that Lord of the Rings was too difficult. It's difficult to read or whatever. And I'm like, I'm a smart guy. I should probably be able to read this. But for some reason, I never went back to it. And then when I heard there was a movie coming out, I was like, well, I gotta watch the movies, or I gotta read the books before the movies. So I read them beforehand. And then I've read them one more time since the movies came out. And then what I'm doing is I'm making my way through the history of Middle Earth, right? From that green book here to this red. Actually, there's another green book kind of right there. But 12 books, the history of Middle Earth. I'm reading through those, but these white ones is considered the history of history of the Lord of the Rings. And it's each book coincides with like Fellowship, Two Towers, whatever. And this has the original names. There's 4 books, but 3 of them have the original names for what he wanted those parts of the books to be. So Fellowship of the Ring was supposed to be called The Return of the Shadow. The Two Towers was called The Treason of Isengard. And Return of the King was called The War of the Ring. I want to read those in tandem with them. So I kind of want to read Fellowship, then read Return of the Shadow, then read Two Towers, then read, you know what I'm saying? So I can, because basically what these are is kind of like the making of. So you get to see all the different versions, what the original names of people were. Like, what was it? I think Bongo was one of them. Like, I think Frodo was named Bongo or something. And Strider was Trotter, I think. It's some of the names are even strange, you know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff that I really like seeing. It's like, okay, how did he craft this into what we got? You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, I'm going to read them again. As far as games go, I did play a couple of the PlayStation 2 games. I don't even remember which ones. I played a little bit of the Lego Hobbit didn't really care for it. I didn't like the way that the game played, but that's about it. I have returned, what is it? Shadows of Mordor. I bought it. Still haven't played it. In fact, I think was it Wraith or Carbonite? Somebody told me that I should play that, and so I bought it, and then still haven't played it. There you go. It's the best place for the price. In a lot of cases. Some cases, not so much. Sometimes you can find really good deals on eBay that way. Rob hates saying this, so I will. Please donate money to That Crazy Greek. Welcome, That Crazy Greek. Welcome back. Hope you're doing okay. Dig Final Fantasy or any JRPGs. I did play Final Fantasy 7. Tried 8, didn't care for it. Tried 9, couldn't get into it. And really haven't had any luck with any of them since. Now, I do have the Final Fantasy 7 remake in there. I have Tales of Arise because I played the demo and was like, okay, I think I could do this. What is Xenogear, or not Xenogears? Xenoblade Chronicles? Is that what it's called? The first one? The definitive edition? And I've gotten into it a little bit and then quit playing. So, I don't know, man. Yeah. I try, man. I try. I just can't get super into them. I don't know. I did get some anime from Prime Day. Got season 1, part 2 of the Hirugashi Reb. I like to read Lou of the King. Ugh. History of Middle-earth, okay, great. Who the tall tree mending dude on Rings of Power who's being chased by those evil fire-starting elves? Tall tree mending dude. Oh, the stranger. We don't know who the stranger is. That's the thing. See, that the thing about Rings of Power, we'll talk a little bit about Rings of Power in the news, but that's the thing, is we still don't know. And by all accounts, this is the second age. There should be no hobbits or wizards. So I don't know. Got Chobits and also Strike Witches, season 3 that I was missing. I don't even know what those are. But all right, it was Wraith. Yeah, it was Wraith. That said Shadows of Mordor. Two Towers, Return of the King, and the Third Age are the best Lord of the Rings games. There you go. See? I didn't even know. Yeah, get the hell out of the hospital, dude. Seriously. I don't know where in the timeline Shadows of Mordor takes place in the Lord of the Rings universe. I'm not sure either, but I mean, I'm definitely willing to play it. Cloud is kind of hot. He is. Best Final Fantasy game to date. Some people don't like that. Some people don't like you saying that. But I played through Final Fantasy 7 like 3 times. I loved it. There's something about the mixture of genre there. It's like sci-fi, but then it's got this very fantasy kind of feel. It was something about that particular story that I really was gravitated toward, which is why I want to play the remake, but I still haven't played it. Xenoblade's fantastic. See, I haven't gotten into it, I guess. Caleb only likes the hentai. It's before Bilbo gets the ring. Okay. So probably Third Age, but not probably after Rings of Power, but before. That seems to mirror my modern RPG interest, just too busy. Exactly. That's the thing. I don't have the time to devote to it to really just sink my teeth into it. I prefer Final Fantasy VII Remake because I've never liked turn-based combat. See, I totally get that. So yeah, I'm interested to play it and see what it's like. The second game leads you into chasing Bilbo for the ring. Okay. Interesting. Okay. This weekend, since yesterday was a holiday, the wife and I went and did some things. We went and hiked, which was awesome. And we both got almost too tired. But then we decided to go to a Half Price Books. And we didn't find anything. So We go to eat. We're sitting there eating Arby's, by the way, for anyone. The new rib sandwich at Arby's is pretty good. Anyway, we're sitting there and we're like, well, what do you want to do now? Don't want to go home. I said, why don't we go to that big Half Price Books in Dallas? And I said, you've never been there, have you? She goes, no. I said, you sure you want to drive out there? She's like, let's do it. I'm like, okay, cool. So guess what? We went and I picked up a couple things. First is a book I've never read. And this is going to be for the future. So The Dark Tower is a series of Stephen King that I've never read. But apparently some of the books that he, prior to that have to do with The Dark Tower, or at least it kind of adjacent. Some of them I've read, some of them I haven't. Well, this one is one I haven't read, The Eyes of the Dragon. Supposedly, this has some connections to The Dark Tower beforehand. So they said, I was reading this thing, and they said, yeah, you should read this before The Dark Tower. And I'm like, $3? All right. And the other thing is something I didn't plan on getting. Like, I didn't go in there thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to look for that. But I saw it and I said, I gotta do it. I don't even have a player for it. But I had to get it. Leon's second favorite movie, right behind Dune, is Blade Runner. But this is, Laserdisc. Heck yeah, man. So mainly I got this because it's cool looking. But look, it's in great shape. If you look at those, I mean, it's seriously in great shape for $10. I was like, hell yeah. Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies that I never got to see when I was young. I didn't see it until late 90s. And then I didn't love the movie until like the late 2000s. So yeah, this is awesome. And I haven't even opened this up to actually look at the discs to see if they're okay. But you know what? It doesn't even matter. That's awesome. $10. Hell yeah. So yeah, there you go. Couple of pickups there at the old Half Price Books. I love Half Price Books, man. I seriously, and the thing is, if you were, this is what I've learned. If you are looking for something in particular, every time you go into the same exact store, you're going to find something new. You're going to find something different every single time. My local Half Price Books, which is about 15 minutes away from me, I'm telling you, it's always got new stuff. And every single one is like that. And now the one that it's in Dallas is like the super Half Price Books. And it is gigantic. You've never seen a Half Price Books this big. Or I hadn't. And every time I go in, I spend at least an hour there. It's so much fun. So there you go. There you go. Let's see. What magazines did I enjoy as a kid? Nintendo Power highlights. Absolutely. Highlights for children? Heck yeah. Goofus and Gallant? You better believe it. But yeah, I did have highlights. In fact, I don't know what happened to my Nintendo Powers. I know Billy would love mine because I kept mine in really good shape. I don't know what happened to him. And I had one like from the very first, right? I had from the very first for a long time. I got that. I'm trying to think though. I can't believe that I never signed up to be like a Star Wars fan club or anything like that. Never did that, but those are definitely a couple that I did. I mean, of course, I liked reading People and Entertainment Weekly and all those too. If we got them, it didn't always happen. Oh, of course, Cinefantastique, Starlog. I didn't care about Fangoria because I didn't care about horror movies that much. But those in particular, in fact, Cinefex, which I think is now gone. But Cinefex was a really cool one because I just like looking at the pictures. But then you start reading the actual articles and you learn about how some of these special effects are being done. That was really cool. So yeah. Turn-based combat is an evolution of pen and paper RPGs. That's what people don't get. The first RPGs on PC were mainly text-based. Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy were an evolution of the concept. Dragon Warrior, I did play the original Dragon Warrior. Which is Dragon Quest, right? Dragon Quest 1. But I haven't played... In fact, I think I have Dragon Quest 11S. The one with the title that's like 2 pages long. I think I have that. And I still haven't played it. So, on to the news now. Okay, just a little bit. Well, before we get in the news, there's something else, but let me get caught up here. I have a Tolkien book called Smith of Wooden Major and Farmer Giles of Ham. Not sure if it's in the Ring series, but if it was in the Hobbit spot of an old box set. Yes. Those two are side stories. Some of them have close ties, but some of them are they're just children's stories. He wrote a bunch of those. In fact, some of those are there's a book right past this one here is Tales from the Perilous Realm. Some of those stories are in that, including some other stories. So yeah, I haven't read those yet. You can see I'm on my way. I'm on my way though. Random battles represent the dungeon master throwing unexpected challenges at you. And Arby's horsey sauce all day. I love that 3 pepper sauce. Man, it's banging. Banging on those curly fries. Hell yeah, dude. So, you have some Laserdiscs on the wall. See, I've always wanted a Laserdisc player, but now it's like, what are they like? 360p? I don't have a use for it. But that's cool. They also had the box, the definitive trilogy, Star Wars trilogy in the box, but you open it up and the book is gone. So it wasn't complete. And I'm like, I would have totally bought that because I looked at it and it said $40. I'm like, I guess I'm buying this. And then I opened it up and was like, well, damn it. But yeah. Dark Tower with 50,000 parts. It's okay, but a slog. The film was stupid as well. See, the Dark Tower is one of those that I tried reading once and never got far into it. I'm at an age and a what do you call it? I'm mature enough, I guess, in my own head now that I think I can do it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Do Androids Dream is rad AF. PKD as legend. Yes. It's very, very good. But Blade Runner is, man, I love it. You'd enjoy Book Off here in New York City. I'm sure I would. I love to read, and I love to see different editions. I just love it. I have all kinds. You should see some of the boxes. I just have tons and tons and tons of books. Because I'm a dork. And Dark Half is pretty good. Was pretty good. And Dark Half is a great band. Well, was. Never heard of them. Removed VR title on Steam called Blade Runner 9732. You can explore Deckard's apartment. Some of the proportions were wonky, but it was very cool ambience. Dude, that sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. Nintendo Power Wizard. Fangoria. I have a couple of wizards, yeah. Fangoria, Starlight, my favorite magazines. Oh, Starlog, yes. Yeah. I loved movie magazines. It was all movies for me. I love movies. New RPGs were text-based before I played them. Never liked turn-based, but I still played the hell out of the games because I like the games. Yeah. Sports Illustrated. I mean, I had some Sports Illustrated swimsuit editions. I did. I had some. I did. Anyway. Prefer turn-based strategy, preferably like Final Fantasy Tactics. I'll tell you what. I want to like those, but I so don't. I can't stand those freaking those games. I can't. I don't like them. It's why what was the other one? Armored Wars. I remember reading some review or something because I was looking for games for my Game Boy Advance. Is it Armored Wars? What is it called? Advanced Wars. There you go. Yeah. And oh yeah, this game is amazing. So I went and bought it. I returned it. I hated it. I can't stand games like that. It's just not my thing. There you go. I hate it. Ricky's with me. Hated tactics, but that's the beauty of the world. If we all like the same stuff, life would be boring. Exactly. Gotta go. Dinner's here tonight, y'all. Acknowledge me, Ricky, your tribal chief. That crazy Greek. Get well, man. Get well. Dragon Warrior 4. Snow Crash is the best cyberpunk book I've ever read. Snow Crash? What is Snow Crash? I'm not even sure what that is. I did that with it, never could get into the book with all the time jumps. Huh. Interesting. Snow Crash. I'd be interested in that. Okay. So, you know what time it is. That's right. It's time for Have You Seen This? How's it going, everyone? Yeah, that's me. Up on top of a hill. Yeah, I've got bagpipes. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? That's great. Oh, it's great up here. Oh, feels nice. Feels nice. But tell me, have you seen this? That's right. It's time for Have You Seen This? And it's the point in the show where we look at stuff on the internet and, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's cute, sometimes it's whatever. But that's what we're doing. There you go. Okay, wait. Dune Strategy game for PC is a really good game. Ozzy knows all about. Great news, guys. I'm back. Bucho, welcome. Welcome. All right. So for this first one is really just because I thought it was funny and because it made me think of you Game Chasers fans. So here you go. Chota. Chota. Look. It's Chota. That Scottish accent was terrible, wasn't it? The thing is, look, I'll tell you this. If I do it, I get rusty. And when I don't do it for a while, it gets rusty and it's not very good. So, forgive me. I'm glad that you guys like Chota. This Chota is funny. It cracked me up. It's just called Chota. It just made me laugh. But yeah. Okay, and next. This one's just cool. So, wall art on the side of a library. Look at that. Look at that. Would you just look at that? Look at this. Can you see it? Look at this. Let me get my stupid fat head out of the way. Just look at that. Tell me that's not freaking cool. I just thought it was cool. I think we found Billy's Halloween costume for sure. Chota! That wall art reminds me of Hexen. You are looking at that with your eyes? Rob, don't worry. I'm English, so natural enemy to some Scottish. Well, look, I do a bad British accent too. But again, I get better. I'm better at it when I do it more often. I haven't been doing my accents very much. So there you go. But anyway, I just thought that was cool and I wanted to share. Next up, just listen to this. This really made me laugh. Okay, play.
Gatto Juventino.
I just think that's funny. And yeah, I am showing that on stream. Yes, I am. I just thought it was funny. It made me laugh. And then next, look, there's not a whole lot for Have You Seen This week, but I wanted to show these. This one just made me laugh because it's just dumb.
Oh my! That was a gunshot!
Kenneth.
Everyone get your heads down!
Kenneth.
That was a drive-by attempt, Frank!
Kenneth, that was a neighbor's car backfiring.
They're coming for the eggs!
Kenneth!
They're coming for the eggs!
One more time.
Oh my! That was a gunshot!
Kenneth.
Everyone get your heads down!
Kenneth.
That was a drive-by attempt, Frank!
Kenneth, that was a neighbor's car backfiring.
They're coming for the eggs!
Kenneth!
They're coming for the eggs!
And there you go. That was Have You Seen This? Oh, that's right. I'm up here. Oh, yeah. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice when I can sit here with my bagpipes. I can glare at you while I say these words. Words. Now he sounds like Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh, yeah. Well, if I get my voice up here, then sure. Anyway, have you? Yeah. Have you? Did you see that? I mean, have you seen this? I mean, what's the name? Yes. So there you go. There you go. Now, if only I had an Irish accent, since I have Irish in me, even though I'm brown. Look, I enjoy Have You Seen This? It gives me a chance to be silly and stupid. And yeah, you get to see some things that hopefully you had never seen before. Fun stuff, meme stuff, cool stuff, cute stuff, whatever, you know? So now, that's right, Phil. Mrs. Doubtfire. Fire. And it's funny, like, some of them, are there times when you aren't being silly and stupid? Yes, Cryptic, yes. But no, actually, not really. Not really. Welcome, Cryptic. How you doing? Good to see you. Only an unwell lad would not like Have You Seen This? That's right. Hey, Sunanda Bandari just subscribed. I'm assuming that's probably for Toombod. Probably not even knowing that I'm streaming. That's the how about a Scottish Watto? God, how would you even do that? Let's see. No doubts there. What does he say? The boy's good. I can't. I don't know, man. I don't know. That is pretty funny though. It's fun. Like here's the tough one is when someone would say, okay, start the sentence with a Scottish accent and end with this accent. That's hard. I can't. I'm not that good. I'll tell you what though. You've seen him in here from time to time. My good buddy John. That guy can do some insane, like absolutely insane. His vocal work is just ridiculous. The dude should be doing, he should be working for like Funimation or any of those animation houses or something. The dude is amazing. Anyway, rewatched RRR the other day. Still as good as the second time. Forgot how fun the ending was. I need to watch it again, but I've got a lot of things on my plate lately. I only take Republican credits, laddie. Yeah, there you go. But it's got to be Republican. I only take what does he say? I need something more real. That's hard to do. That is really, really hard to do. There you go. Republic credits are no good here. I need something more real. That's hard to do. Hard. Someone say Bujo? Oh. So anyway, it's time for some news, everyone. Hey, John, there he is. Holy crap. Did I what? Did you hear me? Republican credits. I know. It just said it. I just said it. But John, it's John. And now I know he can't type in accents, but John is, man, you talk about somebody who's good at accents. That guy is amazing. But good to see you, John. It's time for the news. And see, you just wrote it and I read it. So there you go. But anyway, first up, did you guys see this? It's not a have you seen this, but the Meta Quest Pro. And I thought, okay, this is something that we need to talk about. But the more I looked into it, I'm like, oh, it says a whole new way to work, create, and collaborate. This is for businesses. So they can like show 3D things and all that stuff. It's not like a consumer headset, but it's made by Meta. Everything from the Meta Quest works on the Meta Quest Pro, but it's more for collaboration. And yes, $1,500. So yeah, you can like draw this kind of stuff, like 3D stuff, and collaborate and there's a immerse yourself in the creative process. So yeah, here you go. I mean, it's kind of a neat thing. I would assume that for the people that are working from home, this is definitely a thing. I did watch a couple of reviews and they were saying, oh my gosh, it's really, really comfortable. The headset it's not as high spec as some of the like the PC on the PC side, but it's really, really good. A new lens, the way that it goes on your head, the battery life is good, all that kind of stuff. I know it's probably not for us, but I also saw something about that Xbox was bringing some stuff over to the Quest, which is interesting. Not sure what's going on there. But yeah, $1,500. It's crazy. Anadarmus better give me private lessons on that. Yeah. But again, this is more it's supposed to be for companies. I can see that for like architecture companies or companies that are car manufacturers and stuff like that. Like Iron Man Tech, yes. And I think that's where they're going with this. And it's going to be really, really interesting to see where this technology takes us. Now, I know there's a lot of people. Jay's one of them that he's like, I don't give a shit about VR. I don't care. Don't care about it. Don't give a crap. But at the same time, it's going to be one of those things that in the future, businesses are going to be using stuff like this especially for concepting and things. I mean, think about this. You could do a whole, you could put on your headset, let's say it's a trade show. You're sitting there and you're in the trade show, in the convention center, and things are being shown to you. You're actually able to, because what it does is there's supposedly cameras that look at your emotions and that you can interface with people and stuff like that without leaving your home. There's a lot of interesting things. Now, yeah, if VR was more like Ready Player One, I'd be more akin to buy one. That's where they're going. And the metaverse is where old Zuckerberg thinks it's going to go. Now, it's kind of funny. Somebody said, metaverse, more like meh, M-E-H, metaverse. And it was like, okay, so there are people that are getting a hold of it and they're like, for the technology or for what you're getting right now, it's not really worth it. But the infrastructure is being built. And I think it's interesting just if you're into tech, but it's just not for me. I don't need a $1,500 headset. At first I thought, oh my gosh, are they trying to like almost lay the groundwork for where the PS5, the PSVR 2 is going to be? But no, the PSVR 2 is definitely a home consumer headset. It's going to be a lot cheaper. Some are saying $500, $600. I'm interested to see where that's going to be. I don't know. I just, like I said, just thought I'd bring it up. It's going to be like the virtual reality on the show Community. Wonder what makes it about the hardware and not the software. Well, the hardware is definitely boosted, like a lot. And there's a lot of things to make it more comfortable, but yeah. You can just go to meta.com if you want to like read about it and stuff, but so stifle face-to-face conversation even more. Perfect. I mean, that's the thing. I don't think it's there to replace that. I think it's there to make it easier for people not next to each other to be able to work with each other. So, AutoCAD people, exactly. Oh yeah, I would buy one too. But $1,500 is a lot, Ricky. Okay. Metaverse, exactly. Remember that PS9 commercial? We're not so far off from that, which is kind of nuts. I want a VR system with rectal implants. Damn it. Freaking talk to text. Rectal implants. Retinal implants. Those are a lot less painful. Yes. I'm probably going to get the PSVR 2 as well. Just maybe not day one. Because the thing is, I've got them. I had the first PSVR. I have the Meta Quest 2. And guess what? Don't play them. They're fun for a little bit. And then I just get bored with it. Or I get like, okay, I want to just sit down and watch a movie or something. Or watch someone do things. Or whatever. But there you go. Now this one, look, I know there's probably going to be people that are like, I don't care about this. But it's my show. And I can do whatever the hell I want. No. I mean, it's true. But I really like Kenneth Branagh. And I really like the Poirot movies. So, here you go. Jamie Dornan, Tina Fey, Michelle Yeoh, Jude Hill join Kenneth Branagh in Agatha Christie mystery A Haunting in Venice. So even after the, I would say, it's pretty much a failure for the previous movie, which was called Murder on the Nile or something. I can't remember what it was called. But whatever that movie was with the cannibal and Wonder Woman, Death on the Nile, that's what it was called. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Carbonite. Yes. But with Death on the Nile, it was fine. To me, it wasn't as good as Murder on the Orient Express, which I actually liked that one. So to hear that they're making another one, I think Kenneth Branagh is amazing as a director. I'm really excited to see this because I like these kinds of movies. So there you go. So this is coming soon. I mean, a pretty fantastic cast. And you know what? Jamie Dornan, you take away the 50 Shades of whatever that he's been doing, Jamie Dornan's a hell of an actor. I like him. And Michelle Yeoh is awesome. So there you go. That's coming soon. I saw that and thought, hey, I want to talk about that. VR is exercise in disguise. I'll tell you what, though, Beat Saber is fun. It is fun. But after a while, I'm just kind of like, I just want to sit down and chill, you know? But anyway, I don't know if you liked Michelle Yeoh before everyone else did. I mean, Michelle Yeoh's been pretty awesome for many, many years. Tomorrow Never Dies. And then going back, Super Cop, right? Yeah, Michelle Yeoh's awesome. I'd like to see Nintendo get into VR one day. Need to have Metroid Prime as a launch title. I just want to... Look, this was going back a while. Okay, we're going to pause the news for a second. I'm going to talk about this. There was technology. This was in the 90s where they were talking about wearing a headset, but then you wore it looked like a wetsuit. And the whole, full body wetsuit. And what happened is, like you were playing a game where you're shooting. When you got shot, you could feel it. You could feel the pressure. It would, Or if you're playing a horror game, you could feel someone grab onto your wrist. Right? There's all kinds of cool technology that they were talking about. What happened to that? I don't see any pressure suits anymore. That was in the 90s. Maybe the 80s. I'm like, I want to play that. I want to play a game. Like, I would probably be into horror games if they weren't. You want to know why I don't like horror movies for the most part? It's the Ugh. I'm like, you lost me. You're not telling a story. You're just trying to catch me off guard. And when the music goes down and you can't hear anything, you know something's coming. Horror movies become, to me, for the most part, they become cookie cutter experiences. It's just like going on the same roller coaster over and over. It's the same experience. We went over this hill instead of this hill. It's the same thing, right? That's why I really enjoyed the idea of, man, having like tactile, like you could grab on, like it would be like you grab onto a door handle and you open it and you could feel the door handle in your hand. Like, how cool would that be? Where's that at? I don't know. Anyway. Okay. You can buy a nice timeshare off him, apparently. He'll probably eat your bones. Yeah. I didn't know he was in the Shades movies. I just remember Dakota Johnson. Well, I mean, standing during loading screens in VR make me feel every ache in my back. Yes. And it's like the first PlayStation VR, man, it was so heavy that it was just like you're tired after a bit. Maybe that's because I was still recovering. I don't know. I just remember feeling like it felt really heavy. I don't think I want a pressure suit if I'm playing Nightmare on Elm Street game. Well, I mean, right. But I mean, think about if you're playing a game where, you know, you're getting shot and you can feel it, you know, or whatever. And you're just like, oh, you know, not to where it hurts, but you could just feel it. I just think that'd be cool. Rob's like, you see Caleb's nuts? Let's kick those. I'm not saying kick people. I mean, I'm sure. In fact, now that you're talking about it, why don't they have? They probably are working on something like that. Because the thing is, no matter what the technology is, once porn gets ahead of it, it becomes a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, for a long time, it was like, okay, which one's going to win? HD, DVD, or Blu-ray? Well, which one is porn going on? Because that's usually the one that wins. VHS and Betamax was the same thing. There you go. I got a 2016 Vive, and I got to assume it's heavier than current headsets. I bet it was. I bet it is. Yeah. Japan has scent devices. Okay. I don't know about that, man. The replacement killers. Yeah. Too many sex simulations were created for the prototype pressure suit. They all had to be thrown away. I can't even imagine that there are scent devices. I mean, you've seen, I'm sure people have seen that they're like, they're like body casts of porn stars. So it's like you're having sex with whoever. But scents, I'm not sure if I need that. Scent is nice for being in areas of snow or gardens. Yeah. They had a booth where you could smell a woman's sweat. No. Or being at McDonald's or Walmart. Yeah. I don't think I need that. Oof. Next up, I wanted to just bring this to, actually, I smell dew. I smell all kinds of stuff. I smell unwashed. Dude, an anime or a convention, any convention. If y'all haven't been to a convention, the thing is, they're awesome. They're so much fun. But there are a lot of people who don't know how to bathe. Okay? It's just a thing. Nerds, some nerds just don't know how to bathe. And some of them don't smell great. Imagine that. Anyway, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery to hit theaters at Thanksgiving via AMC, Regal, and Cinemark in a rare deal with Netflix. This is kind of cool. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is. Of course, I'm sure there's going to be some, there's definitely some under the table kind of talks going on. But this opens the door to Netflix being able to release more movies at theaters. I think this is an important thing. For Netflix to be such a huge part of the streaming world, to be able to make a movie like this and put it out in theaters, I think that's a cool thing. So what's going to happen is from November 23rd to November 29th, you'll be able to watch Glass Onion in a theater at AMC, Regal, or Cinemark. After that, it goes nowhere. They stop playing it. And then it comes on Netflix December 23rd. I'm planning on watching this in the theater because I want to watch this movie. I love Knives Out. I think it was amazing. And honestly, I like Rian Johnson. I know a lot of people don't, but I like him as a filmmaker. So I want to watch this. And I'm probably, if it's good, I'll watch it maybe again, maybe twice on Netflix. I'm excited for this. So I just wanted to bring that up. November 23rd is when that's happening. Limited release for 1 week, basically. 23rd to the 29th. Imagine a Game Chasers with scent devices on road trips. No. There is an episode. Well, I don't know if it's going to be an episode. We did some filming. And yeah. You're going to, see some things. Anyway, I wanted to bring this to your attention. So we all know that the Batman was a cool, I liked it. I thought it was really good. And I thought Colin Farrell was amazing as the Penguin. Well, now we're getting a series on HBO Max. And the director of Mayors of Easttown, Craig Zobel, will be doing it. Now, I did a review of Mayor of Easttown, and not a lot of people watched it. And that's okay. That's fine. I understand. It's not exactly going to light up YouTube. I didn't do it because of that. I did it because I liked it and I wanted to talk about it. But Mayor of Easttown, if you haven't seen it, is a fantastic show. Like a really, really good show. Really, really well done. So to hear that he is going to be helping out with the Penguin, I'm not sure if he's show running. It just says director. It's good. It's really, really good. And I'm excited. It's kind of like Chernobyl was one of those things where it was like, man, anything that those guys do from here on out is great. And if you have HBO Max and you haven't seen Mayor of Easttown, you need to, you should check it out. It's definitely worth a watch. So there you go. I'm excited for the Penguin. I think it'll be good. I thought Colin Farrell was like, I couldn't even believe it was him. Like when I saw photos, I was like, oh, who's this guy? He looks kind of like I don't know, like a scarred Robert De Niro kind of. Is great. He was great. And he actually kind of conjured Robert De Niro a little bit in the movie too, which I thought was kind of cool. I'm kind of curious about this article that's not even the point of me bringing up this website. But anyway, now, for those of you, I'm not going to go into any spoilers for Rings of Power if you haven't seen it yet. Unless you just don't care. In which case, I probably won't anyway. I still won't. Because I feel like Rings of Power is going to be one of those shows that, yeah, a lot of people find it slow week to week, but I think it's going to play a little better once it's actually complete. So what I'm doing, I think, depending on what's going on, I'm going to try to watch all of the first 7 episodes of Rings of Power for the finale on Friday. To see if it flows better. It may not, but I have to do it because I'm a Tolkien nerd and, I want to watch it again. But all together. So, that's not what I'm here to talk about, though. This is what I'm here to talk about. This is from Screen Rant. Rings of Power Season 2 could take years So let me get this straight. You've put so much money into this show. So much money. Right? That it actually cost about $1 billion to make season 1. Now, some of that stuff is gonna, translate or not translate, but it's going to go over to season 2 and maybe even further seasons. But what the hell? Gotta go, gang. Catch you next time. Rock on, Robert. Bucho. See you later. Bye, Bucho. Thanks for loud. Anyway, good to see you. But look, you had some really good episodes. Some really good. I mean, like, I think I think it's 4 or 5. I can't remember which one it was. But one of them was like, okay, that looks pretty good. And then I think episode 6 was like, whoa, this is the show that I felt like I was promised. That's why the title of my video was that Amazon was holding out on us. It's because that's how I felt. I was like, what the hell? And then episode 7 was a bit of a step back, but I was still hopeful. But now you're telling me that whatever momentum you thought you had is now going to be gone because season 2 is going to take you a couple of years? I just don't understand. I don't understand with that amount of, seriously, just buying power, just the fact that Amazon is behind it and has already said many, many, many times, we are committed to this show. Why? I don't understand why you didn't just postpone season 1 until season 2 was closer. COVID notwithstanding, why do that? Because now any momentum that you might have had in season 1 is going to be gone. People are going to forget. They're going to move on. We might actually get another season of House of the Dragon before we even have a release date for Rings of Power season 2. I just don't get it. I don't understand this thinking. Like, I know that there was the whole, we're moving from New Zealand to England, and they're actually supposedly shooting now in England for Rings of Power season 2. I just don't get it. It's irritating. It's irritating because I know that there's a lot of people that were down on this show. There are a lot of people that were rooting for this show to fail. I've even said many times that you really just have to look at it as fan fiction. Just like every Star Trek after Gene Roddenberry died, just like any Star Wars after Lucas. You could seriously sit there and go, you know what? This is just fan fiction. And I can accept it or I cannot accept it. Some people will accept it. Some people won't. And that's fine. But I hate the fact that I've been trying to give this show a chance. I've been trying to be excited for the show and to give the show every benefit of the doubt that I could give it. And then you do this and you go, I just don't get it. I will say on some episodes of Rings of Power are so boring, but it's picking up. Yeah. But now any momentum is just gone. How long did it take for them to create the show from conception to air date? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm trying to think of when it was announced. Let's do a little Google foo. When was Rings of Power announced? Look at that. Amazon announced that the first season would consist of 8 episodes in January 2020 and revealed the series' full title, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, in January 2022. Payne and McKay felt the title could live on the spine of a book next to J.R.R. So 2.5 years, at least 2.5 years. But the thing is they were working on it before that, because it says announced that the first season would consist of 8 episodes. I don't know. Okay, wait. Yeah, Rob, but Rob, this is a showrunner saying this. They can be replaced, and you think Amazon are going to wait years? No, not a chance. Well, that's the thing. In theory, at least what they've told us is that they've got the plan for those 50 episodes. You know, they basically have the outline of the story. And that's why it was greenlit. That's why there was so much money poured into it, right? I don't know. I know you feel the same about this. I wish people wouldn't hate watch. It's literally watching the show just to hate on it and make people who like it mad. Yeah, and I mean, it's not even that. I can ignore most of those people, but it's when people say, is this stream still going? Magnus? Yes, it is. Yeah, it's still going, of course. But yeah, it's like, I just don't get it, man. Because like I said, I haven't loved every episode. In fact, some of them I've been like, especially the last one, irritated me a lot more than I wanted it to. But I'm still rooting for the show, and I'm rooting for every show to be good, every movie to be good. Like, I want everything. Like, I know there's going to be movies that aren't for me, right? The Fast and Furious movies are not for me. I've given them multiple chances, and they've never been for me, and that's fine. But I want everybody that's a fan of the Fast and the Furious franchise to go to that movie and go, that was awesome. I enjoyed the hell out of that. That's what I want. I don't care. I don't give a crap about 50 Shades of Grey or any of that. But you know what? The fans of that series, I hope they enjoyed it. Just like I'm not a big fan of, I don't know, My Little Pony. But I want you My Little Pony fans to be happy. That's what I want. So for me, for somebody who's a fan of Tolkien, yeah, I want this show to be great. And I want it to be great for me and everybody else that's a fan of Tolkien. And you've got this little bit of momentum. And then you just deflate it all by not having the second season ready. I just don't I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. They should have, to me, if they knew that it was going to take another 2 years or whatever, they should have said, you know what? We want, and it doesn't matter what reason you said to anybody. COVID's put us behind longer than whatever. We need some more time to make this show better. And so what you do is you postpone the show until the second season is to a point where you know that, hey, it's going to be less than a year before this show is ready, the next season's ready. And then you keep production going, right? Shit. Season 2 and season 3, film them back to back. Do whatever you have to do to keep that momentum going. It just irritates me. Yeah. I think Amazon should fully commit and let them shoot as much as possible. Yeah. Yeah. First 50 Shades was pretty good. The rest sucked. Well, I'm just saying. All I'm trying to say is that it was Kevin Smith, actually, that made me realize that I'd been hating on things for no reason. Like, I was hating on Twilight for a long time. The Twilight series. And I'm like, okay, there's really no difference between that fandom and my fandom of whatever it is. Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, whatever I'm into. They have their fandom, and why should I, what do they call it? Yucking on someone else's yum? Why would you do that? Why would you? There's no reason to do that. When it comes to horror movies, I'm not going to sit there and say, you know what? All horror movies suck. I don't like most of them, but there's plenty of people that love them. Anyway, Rob giving that brony representation respect. Hey, I'm just saying. What would you do if Rings of Power was canceled after one season? I would say, well, good, you know, I guess you gave it a shot. But that's not what they're doing. They're not canceling it. They're postponing it, so it almost might as well be dead. Wholesome Rob quotes, I want My Little Pony fans to be happy. Hey, there you go. It's true, though. Just because I'm not a fan of it or can't even understand the fandom doesn't mean that those people don't deserve the happiness that I deserve when it comes to my fandom. I don't like football. Don't give a crap. Don't care about fantasy football. Don't care about baseball. Don't care about most sports. But you know what? Those people have their fandom just the same as I do. And they're a nerd for football, just like I'm a nerd for Star Wars. I hope they're happy. I hope they're having a good time. It's really what it comes down to. Anyway, Fast and Furious is so silly and had finally jumped the shark with the car in space, hence it's ending with 2 more movies. Hey, I heard a lot of people didn't like that one, but excited for Andor tomorrow. Got beer in the fridge and whiskey chilling in the freezer for it. In fact, we're only 4.5 hours away from that. Dude, I'm pumped for Andor. This is, in theory, right? Let's just stop for a second and appreciate Andor for what they're doing. 3 episodes per arc. So we're at the end of this arc. So it should be something. And then we'll start a new arc, which is kind of cool. I love this idea. It's almost like little short stories in this universe, in this time. Love it. Love it. AKA, Caleb's a brony, but I guess he's okay. Yeah, you know what I mean. Now, new Hellraiser was badass. See? In fact, I don't remember who, dude, so many, oh my God. The last couple of days have been nuts with the comments on my videos because of the Indian movies. There's so many. So I can't remember who was talking to Hellraiser. Oh, it was John. John was asking me about Hellraiser. He said, "You're gonna watch that?" I didn't like the first one, and Hellraiser's just never been my thing. But you know what? I'm glad you liked it. What happened to the other 49 shades? Exactly. Is the third shade of gray like super like tame and boring, like all missionary? Anyway, did anyone or Rob watch Blonde on Netflix? Terrible movie and so unwatchable. I was going to watch it. I was planning on watching it. But the reviews basically made me go, it's not worth my time. I've got so much stuff on my plate right now. And I'm not saying this because, oh, Rob's so busy and he's so important. And no. I've literally put a bunch of crap in my way. And on top of that, I've had some family things that have taken me away from those things. I'd rather, like, honestly, lately, it's, if I'm going to relax and either read or, watch somebody on Twitch or just chill out or whatever. But all the other time, if I'm watching a movie, it's so that I can review it. If I'm watching a series, it's so that I can review it. Star Blazers is kind of weird because I just want to see it really bad. I'm probably not going to review it because it's old. But yeah, I wanted to watch it because it sounded interesting. And Ana de Armas looks like insanely, like, she looks like Marilyn Monroe in some shots. So I was like, wow, this might actually be really good. I've heard she's great in it, but it's just not a good movie. So yeah, I probably won't. Ace Zach LOL. It's almost Halloween. It is almost Halloween. Ace Zach LOL. It's good to see you. I don't think I've seen you in here. It's good to see you. Welcome. I hope you're doing okay. Right now I'm still a little angry about Rings of Power. I'm the fandom menace? Me? Or is Bucho the fandom menace? I don't know. NFL Blitz is dope, though. See? There you go. I can't stand NFL Blitz. I never played it. I watched somebody play it, but I went, nope, that's not for me either. Do you like Andor more than Mandalorian or Obi-Wan? Yes. I think Andor is more for me. Mandalorian is to me geared toward the casual Star Wars fan. The deep lore Star Wars fan, Andor is really speaking to me. It's like, okay, there's some real thought and the way that it doesn't feel like it's just a vehicle for nostalgia. It feels like they've actually got a story to tell. So that's kind of how I'm feeling about it. It's right now, it's shaping up to be my absolute favorite of any of the Disney stuff. I wanted to love Obi-Wan. You know me? Well, not everybody knows me as well as some. But like Bucho and Bonobo Juice and Cosma, they all know me really well when it comes to Ewan McGregor. And they know that, yeah, I love that man. So I wanted Obi-Wan to be the bee's knees, yo. You know what I'm saying? I wanted it to be awesome. And it was fine. And that's disappointing because it was just fine. I wanted it to be great. Andor right now it's doing its job. It's scratching me where I'm itching, you know? So, yeah. Starts with a kiss, ends with a whip. That's the way the 50 Shades go. Uh-oh. Disgusting and unnecessary scenes in Blonde like a close-up blowjob scene with JFK. Terrible film. Yeah, it's just not... Doesn't sound like my kind of thing. But I wanted to watch it if it was like, oh my God, Ana de Armas is so good in this that you have to see it. So I was like, okay, I might be watching this movie. I don't know what I'm in for, but yeah. Melvalorian. And it's just, look, the thing is I like The Mandalorian a lot, but man, so much of it is just, who's the loved character of the week that's going to show up and do the thing and say the words or whatever. I don't know. I feel manipulated by The Mandalorian. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to watch it. You know damn well I'm watching that. Okay. But what I mean is there are moments where I feel like they're trying really hard to make me happy. And I can feel it. And it's not, you're not here to tell me a story. You're just trying to make me feel good. That might sound gross. I don't know. I don't know how that sounds, but that's how I feel. I feel manipulated by it. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Be right back. Gonna go look at some nurses' butts. Anybody itching for an Oscar Perez stream? I don't know. What would you do if there were an animated Thrawn series? I would watch it with my whole face. All of this. I would be like, bzz, locked in. Locked in. Was the Rouge Squadron movie canceled? Sorry, Magnus. Every time I see that, I have to say it how it's spelled. Because it's Rugue. I'm giving you crap. Just like you give me crap and you know you do. Just playing around. But nurse butts. Rogue Squadron, I don't believe has been canceled, but it has been postponed. Postponed to the point where it may be dead. As far as we know, it's just been postponed. It was canceled? I thought Rogue Squadron was... Disney has removed Rogue Squadron. This is from Variety. Disney has removed Rogue Squadron, the Star Wars film from director Patty Jenkins, from its release calendar. The move comes as a little surprise since the tentpole, which was scheduled to be released December 22nd, 2023, was taken off the studio's production schedule in 2021. That doesn't mean it's canceled. But it may be canceled. And it could just be because it could be for many reasons. It could be Patty Jenkins and, didn't agree with the way that the story was being put together. It could be so many different things. Could be Kathleen Kennedy is actually an insane person and just tried to do all these crazy things and then it didn't work. It could be simply that Patty Jenkins doesn't want to work on it right now. It could be that there was a falling out and Patty Jenkins has been fired. And all we know is that, they just took it off the release schedule. But Patty Jenkins was actually fired. And that, I'm just saying, this could be. There's all kinds of things it could be. I know 85% of what I know about Star Wars through the Switched On show. That's right. Switched On is amazing. It was amazing. It's kind of dead now. But it was amazing when it happened. Creative differences, Magnus, a.k.a. Kathy Kennedy butted in and killed it. Maybe. But there's so many different ways that could have gone. And look, I have had conversations with Billy, with Bucho, with so many people about Kathy Kennedy and what I think. I guess it's just because I look at Kathy Kennedy's resume. I looked at all the movies that she helped produce. And I just can't see her torpedoing these movies. There are possibilities that she did. There are possibilities that she came up with things that the fans have pretty much unanimously said, that's stupid. There's all kinds of things that we don't really know. But from what I can tell, and from what I've seen, she's not all to blame. I think Bob Iger has a lot of things to answer for. Not only for Solo, but for the way the Rise of Skywalker was handled. Some of that is Kathy Kennedy, sure. Maybe, possibly, even probably. But the thing is, I cannot let it rest on one person's shoulders. I don't believe Kathy Kennedy is out to destroy Star Wars. That's crazy. Like, I'm gonna make this thing that I just can't. I don't believe it. I think there's a lot of hands in the pie, is what I think, and I think that the directors aren't allowed to make decisions for themselves. And from my perspective, what she has done in her entire career is she's been a producer, sometimes executive producer, for these huge, very, very popular, very amazing movies. And I just cannot see that she would do that to something that she's been put in charge of. Doesn't make sense to me. Why would I torpedo and destroy the thing that I'm in charge of? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't mean I'm right, though. There's so many things that I've heard that I can't refute. But some of it doesn't sound right to me. It just doesn't make sense. It makes sense to me that Disney, especially Bob Iger, that he was pointing things and saying, this is the way that it needs to go in order to maximize profit. That makes sense to me because they own it and it's theirs. So it makes sense to me that they were trying to do that. They were trying to do everything they could to maximize profit. That meant at the expense of story and of longevity. It was a short-term decision. But that's just my opinion. It's not a popular one. And I understand that. But there you go. Wait a minute. I know Kathy Kennedy is an experienced filmmaker, but too many creative differences in her tenure. Rogue Squadron series would have been great, but Kennedy is a klutz. I'm telling you, if you look at her career and you look at the list of credits on her producer credits are insane. Like she's had a hand in creating some of the most amazing movies we've ever seen. And Spielberg himself called her the absolute, I loved working with Kathy. Lucas handpicked her for the job. I don't know. I don't know. But who knows? That's the thing. There's a lot of things happen when she could have been like you said, that Spielberg and Lucas could reel her in. That's absolutely possible. I don't know. I have a hard time, especially after watching that interview with Bob Iger and how intimately he was talking about The Mandalorian and how important it was for him for it to be a success for Disney Plus. Hearing some of the decisions that he was basically like, I gave them notes and that I watched them again to make sure that my notes were in there. That's not how you make a story. I'm sorry, that's not how you make a story. You look at some of the best movies in history are the ones where the studio went, we're just going to let you do your thing because you're the creative guy. We're just the money. Now, I think Bob Iger did a lot of amazing work in his career as head guru of Disney. But he even said that he feels like he screwed up with Star Wars. And I think part of that has to land on him. And for everyone to like Andor or Rogue One or whichever ones that you like and not like the others, but then say that, oh, well, this is because Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, or this is because Tony Gilroy had it. No, Kathy Kennedy's been over all of it. So you kind of have to give her credit for the stuff that works. And maybe, yeah, you could probably blame her for the things that don't go well. But you have to give her credit for the stuff that works too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Now, this isn't a Star Wars show. I have a tendency to ramble when it comes to Star Wars. So let's just move on a little bit. Yeah, she can be cringe sometimes, but she isn't all to blame. Now, here's another thing. A lot of people were ready to put her on the freaking firing line when she was wearing a shirt that said the Force is female. I get it. I understand. But at the same time, guys, the Force is female. I'm just saying. If you watch the Clone Wars, there's an episode where you basically see like the Force, like as characters, and they're all female. So I could see that and go, oh yeah, that's from that. Sure, I get it. I'm just saying. And that was written by Lucas, by the way, and Filoni. Just saying. But anyway, we'll just move on. Dooku would be great too. Everything would be. Oh yeah, Dooku would be good. Maul or Dooku. Need a Jar Jar series. You know what? Like I said, I've said this before. The Clone Wars. Are you assuming the Force is gender? It was written, or it was voiced by Jamie King, by the way. Just saying. Anyway, I think Kennedy has got this high power position and changed her for the worst. While before she was a little more free, but she's burning bridges these days. And that could be completely possible. But like I said, if you blame Kathy Kennedy, you also have to blame Bob Iger. Let's be equal here. Because Bob Iger had a lot going on. Could be non-binary, Rob. Okay, hey, you know what? You're right. I've seen Jamie King in movies and things. and she's a woman. So, just saying. Stupid t-shirt, it's for everyone. I mean, possibly. I wouldn't wear it. But I mean, it is kind of true. I will grant you though. I will grant you that it wasn't just her wearing it. It was like a couple of women wearing it. And it was almost like a, hey. But at the same time, it was one of those things at the time. I almost felt like it was, look, guys, Star Wars has been mainly male this whole time. Let's get the females interested in this show, in these shows, in these stories. That I can get behind. Princess Leia, like I said, I grew up with Princess Leia. I grew up with Sarah Connor. I grew up with Ripley. Female characters have always been badass to me. So I've never really had a problem with it. But there's a lot of people that were having problems with that stuff. I get it. I totally understand. And maybe that was, maybe a spoonful of sugar would have been better. She should have watched some of the earlier Disney stuff and said, hey, spoonful of sugar, Mary Poppins, right? Maybe don't go after the woman hating incels with the Force's female shirts. I mean, I'm just saying, maybe, but that's the thing. Anyway, let's move on. Hey, what was your favorite Lord of the Rings movie? Fellowship, no question. Two Towers irritated me when I saw it in the theater. The book irritated me. But what's weird is the more that I've read and the more that I've gotten into the whole Middle Earth, the Rohirrim have been more important to me, and I've liked them more. I've appreciated Theoden more. Aelmer more. Eowyn more. All of that has just done nothing but grow in my as I've read more. So I kind of want to watch all three of them again to see if they hit harder, because a lot of people go after when in Return of the King, the whole death, people love that, right? And they go nuts over it. And for me, I was always kind of like, okay, fine. When is Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli showing up? That's really what I was waiting for. It might mean more better. It might mean more to me now. I'll just say that. Favorite fight scene, Lord of the Rings. Probably the one that I watched the most. Probably I can't remember where they are, but at the end of Fellowship, that whole sequence because Legolas was my guy. The elves to me I love the elves. So when Legolas is, pew, 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 it's just so cool. And then the extended version, he goes on for even longer. It's just cool. Even though they're all CG, I don't care. I love it. But that whole sequence with Aragorn fighting the Uruk-hai guy, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good stuff. I just bought more food and beer instead of sleeping. This has been rad. Good, Rufus, good. Toxic feminism, my wife calls it. Rob, my wife who is a feminist wants them to do one. Leia, Connor, Ripley, all greats. Yep. I actually still like Rey, just not episode 9. Ammon Hen. Yes, Magnus, thank you. I don't like any episode 9 character. You don't like Babu Frick? Hey! I don't know why I did that with Bucho, but there you go. I like Babu Frick. I mean, there was some things in episode 9. Again, I like some of it. But then when you start going off and then undoing things that happened in the last movie, or not even acknowledging that something happened, like, okay. So the X-Wing's been underwater for how many years? Oh, and the wing was his door. He cut it to be his door. But now it's ready to fly. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, but yes, scat. Babu Frick. Yeah, little guy. I like Dio. Yeah, Dio was like the thing that and I like BB-8 too, but the thing is I hated the fact that they created new droids and just because R2D2 doesn't talk, he just got shafted. And R2D2 is like one of my favorite characters. So that irritated me. And I got irritated that they created another new droid instead of bringing R2 in to do something cool. But there you go. Screw Rey, Mary Sue character, perfectly perfect and zero arc. Look at the career of the lady who played Rey, not great. Well, true. I don't think that. I mean, part of that has to do with how the movies were received, though. I don't think she's a bad actress at all. In fact, people kept talking about this Mary Sue stuff when episode 7 was over, and kind of been out for a while. They started saying this Mary Sue stuff, and I'm like, Mary Sue, I don't know, I don't get it. And then people start saying, well, she was so strong, and I'm like, she was strong? She was strong? Okay, well, she guessed how to do the mind trick, but there's got to be an explanation for that, right? Maybe there's an explanation for that. I don't know. But it never occurred to me. In fact, Bucho and I were having this conversation, back then. And I kept thinking, I don't get it. I don't get it. The Game Chasers, right? The Monsters review. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, look, the thing is, now that I've been able to look at it, yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with that entire trilogy, including The Last Jedi. There's things in The Last Jedi that are terrible. But there are also a lot, as far as those 3 movies, The Last Jedi at least doesn't make me feel like I'm being talked down to. And there are things in there that I get it, that go against what we thought of certain characters, and that's fine. But I didn't feel that way. In fact, because I really put myself in Luke's position, I got it, But hey. Here's how you know it's not all Kathleen's fault. The Star Wars anime sucked too. I enjoyed the anime. Well, here's the thing. If it's an anthology series of different stories, I'm probably going to like it. Okay? And I'm talking about even like, what is Love, Death, and Robots? I would say a good 70% of those are not good. I still enjoy watching it, though. I love short stories. I love little segments of time and just telling the story and then getting the hell out of there. I love that. So that Star Wars anime, I was all over it. I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. But nobody puts Atu in the corner, right? Right. Dark Rey was still a cool character, actually. I never saw Rey as a Mary Sue. She wasn't overpowered till 9. She just never really failed. And I get that. But the thing is I was enjoying, I enjoyed 7 quite a bit. There were a lot of things that I liked about it. It wasn't until later that people started pointing out some of the things where I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get that. And then episode 8, I did not like the first time. We were talking about it and I'm like, okay, there are things that I really like about it. And there are things that I don't like about it. And I don't understand where I stand with this thing. And I had to watch it again. And the more I watched it, the more all the stuff that I didn't like, it's kind of like you're sifting for gold. And it's like the more that I sifted the movie, the more the gold rose to the top. And I let all the other stuff just fall, and I didn't care about it. Didn't bother me. But the stuff that was gold was gold. Like, I loved a lot of the Luke and Rey stuff. I loved it. And I love that Luke, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I love that Luke finally somebody said the Jedi were freaking wrong. They created Darth Vader out of their own arrogance. I loved it. I'm like, yes, that's exactly what happened. Mace Windu was kind of a prick to this little boy who didn't deserve it. There's a lot of things that I really liked about what he was saying. But I get it. I get that, it's not for everybody. I get it. We're still talking about Star Wars, damn it. For me, having a female protagonist is not the problem. It's how they're written. Right. But a lot of people were just, that's all they were talking about. And that comes off as incredibly not great. You know what I mean? If maybe people just aren't, they weren't verbose enough to actually able to articulate what the problems were. But a lot of it came off as just hate for no reason. And by the way, I know a lot of people don't like it. But I liked Rose. I had no problem with Rose. I think part of the reason people hated Rose is because she was just good. And you know what? I'd like to think most people, when they meet me, they go, yeah, he's a cool dude. He's fine. He's good. Does he have any faults? I mean, not that I saw. I mean, I'm sure he does. But yeah, he's a cool dude. It's almost like I wished that people saw her for who she was instead of who she wasn't. And I feel like a lot of times Jar Jar gets put into that same bucket too. I don't think Jar Jar by himself is bad. It's just that they're like, why is he so goofy? Because he's goofy. And he's there for kids. Who cares? Look, Darth Maul is cool. Swinging lightsaber. Let the kids have their thing. But anyway, yeah. I liked the movie until she flew the Millennium Falcon, then it all went downhill. See, that's one of those things that kind of reads as like, huh? What? It's like they didn't plan the story and just wrote each individually, and not great. Yeah. Sorry guys, but Daisy Ridley is awful and supporting actor at best. I mean, hey, that's the thing. We haven't seen really much from her since. Probably because she's been, she's been kind of, I wouldn't say blacklisted, but she's been like, all of the problems have been lumped on her. And I don't feel like that's her fault. Like, if you have problems with Star Wars, sure. Yeah, you have problems with 7, 8, 9. Understandable. But I don't think it's her fault. I think she's fine. I don't know. Hey. Watch the anime movie's Memories. It has one of the best horror sequences I ever saw in a movie. Puts Dead Space to shame. Oh. The Boys and The Matrix both had cool one-off animated miniseries. Yeah. I haven't seen the Boys one yet. I haven't seen that. Just Star Things. Nothing pisses me off more than when I hear about people actually messaging the actors and actresses and threatening and name calling. Like, really? Come on, it's a film show. Don't harass people. Yeah. I have zero problem with women being on top. How are those nurses, Oscar? I don't mind a funny character as long as do cool things and they help out. Jar Jar doesn't. Well, there's a Clone Wars arc with Jar Jar that made me go, holy crap, I like Jar Jar. And it made me go, you know what? He's really not bad. He's really not that bad. But that's, look, like I said, opinions. I thought Obi-Wan was kind of mad, but wouldn't message the actors. Yeah. Daisy Ridley is better and more main actor than Tom Holland. See, I don't understand the Tom Holland problem. Like, I don't get the I don't get it. I like Tom Holland. Sravan Anirud, what's going on? Good to see you. Daisy's just not a great actor. That simple. Good luck to her. She can always improve. I mean, sure. I don't think she's terrible, though. But again, I haven't seen her in anything else. So, you know what? Let's finish off the news. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. We've been going for almost 3 hours. And my throat is sore. Another amazing movie for you. Shervon, I'll tell you this. I wish I could. I need to count. I need to count this. It's absolutely ridiculous. Akonda, it is on my list. I know that movie. It is, yeah. I'll give you an example. Sirvan, and this is one of those things I meant to say earlier, but when it comes to the Indian movies, I've had so many different comments. Wow, you're up to date. Dude, I seriously probably have 100 movies on this list. All Indian movies. And what I've been doing is when people comment, I add a vote, basically. And that's all of the movies that I've reviewed so far on my channel are because of, like, RRR was, of course, because of Ted Milich. I watched it, reviewed it, got that amazing response. Oh my God, thank you for that. But then I was like, okay, I don't know what to review next. I want to review another one. I just don't know what to review. So I tallied up all the movies that people suggested to me. And there were so many. And I went for the next one. The one with the most votes. That was Bahubali. Then after that was KGF. Then Tumbad. Right now, it's pretty close between Three Idiots, Magadira, and the 1-2 punch of Kathy, and Vikram. So those three right now are in the running right now for the next movie that I'm going to review. But yeah, dude, I had just added a vote to your Akonda though. Look, the thing is, I'm not going to review only Indian movies, but you better believe the Indian movies are in the rotation and it is fun to do. So, but thank you. I really do appreciate it. I mean, earlier in the stream, I was talking about how many, like this month has been ridiculous. People have been watching Iga, like my Iga review, like holy crap. Got it up to almost 20,000 views. It was at 1,000. And then suddenly, for whatever reason, at the end of last week, it went, and I'm like, what is going on? And the comments were coming through like, oh my God, I couldn't keep up. The first 2 hours this morning, the first 2 hours of my day were responding to comments this morning. It's awesome, though. I get it, bro. You get overrun by us Indians. No, it's not a bad thing. It's just like, okay. Oh, let me catch my breath here. And the only thing that I wished was that, you know, I wish some of my American brethren would get behind some of these reviews. You know what I mean? Like, and I know it's slow going. Nobody knows who I am yet. I'm a very small channel in comparison, but holy crap. I wished that some of my, I don't know, my Andor, episode review would get 30,000 views, but I'm not there yet. So look, all I can say right now is, oh my God, do I appreciate it? And oh my God, I can't wait for more. And we're rolling. That's what we're doing. We're rolling. Put the boys animated series on your list. It's called Diabolical. Okay. Your Indian movie reviews are blowing up. Got to strike where the iron is hot. Yeah. It's not us, dude. It's the algorithm. See, that's what I don't understand. I thought that too. I was like, okay. Part of it is, for whatever reason, the algorithm picked that video that's 2 weeks old and it put it in front of a bunch of Indian people. After 2 weeks. See, RRR blew up immediately. Like, I had like thousands of views in the first day. Iga slowly crept. I mean, it was doing really well, but it slowly crept up to 1,000. And then, like I said, this last weekend, it's almost like up to 20,000 views. It's crazy. I just don't get it. I wish I understood it, because I would be doing that for every video, if you know what I mean. But I can't. I mean, it's just weird. All I can say is I appreciate you clicking on my face, and I appreciate you watching my videos, because I love doing this. I love doing these. It's not like I'm not making, I'm not making any money doing this, really. I mean, I make a couple of bucks here and there, and when somebody like Rufus drops a big fat donation, but I mean, for the most part, I'm doing this for fun. So yeah, it's just crazy. Why are Indian movies so long? Because they're awesome. Indian movies aren't, see, that's the thing. A good movie can be as long as it needs to be. And a bad movie can never be short enough. Like The Munsters, I wished it was 20 minutes. And so I was done with it. RRR could have been 7 hours. And I guarantee you I would have enjoyed every minute of it. Because that's the truth. Think about this. Every good movie, don't you wish it was a little longer? That's the best thing, man. When you're at the end of a movie and you go, man, that was so good. I wished it was twice as long. I've binged entire seasons of a show in one day. I guarantee you. That's the way it works. But there you go. I'll tell you, man, RRR is amazing. It really is. In fact, if RRR is my favorite movie of the year right now. Like, the only one that comes close, and it is close, is Everything Everywhere All at Once. But I got to give it to RRR. It's Everything Everywhere All at Once made me laugh, made me cry. It really touched me. But RRR, like, it was like RRR grabbed me by my shoulders and shook me. It was like, dude, you gotta freaking, oh my God. That's what that movie did to me and made me go, okay, oh geez, okay, got it, okay, oh my God, holy crap. What did I just watch? It's awesome. Yes, Ravon. Look, both of them though. Rom too. Is RRR the pirate movie? No bonobo juice. It's weird too, because for the most part, this is not my kind of movie. Like, if you said there's a dude literally throwing a cheetah at another dude, throwing a cheetah. If you told me that, I'd go, yeah, that doesn't sound like it's for me. And yet it's the only movie that's really made me kind of just like go, like, holy crap. I was like exclaiming with laughter. Bahubali was a different thing though. And I actually think that Bahubali, in my opinion, the two movies, it's a better overall movie for me. But RRR shook me to my core and made me realize that American films are boring in comparison. Just saying. I'll give RRR another shoot. Might not be in the mood. I don't like dancing and silly over the top action. It's again, Carbonite, me too. I'm the same way. But for some reason, it's like I settled into it. I don't know what happened. I settled into it and was like, I don't typically like this kind of stuff. But for some reason, these performances that these guys are giving, there's something to them. They have the magnetism, the actual star power that those guys have. But Anyway. Rom is mediocre. Check out his other films. You will know. See, I haven't seen any others. So all I know is I thought both of them were fantastic in that movie. What was that movie with the guy who was on a boat with a tiger? Life of Pi. Yeah. You have a good night, Magnus. Good to see you. Got to admit, though, Rob, lots of Indian films are awful, but they are getting better. Well, that's the thing. I'm sure there's probably, of these many movies, there's probably some that I'm not going to like. But so far, I've at least appreciated. Like, Toombot is not my kind of movie. Okay? But I could appreciate that movie, like, a lot. Like, holy crap. I can appreciate that. There was a lot that I did like. And the stuff that I was like, okay, that's... is still like way above and beyond what I expected. So it's kind of one of those weird movies for me. But anyway, let's get to that last part of the news so we can get out of here. This is a bummer. Slumdog was legit good, yeah. I keep hearing about Kirsch. Anybody seen that? I'm not sure what that is. But here's the thing. So Blade, for whatever reason, we've heard this a couple of times. That it was just there were problems with the script. Mahershala, it's a hard name to say. Was not happy with the script. There were some problems. Now the movie has been delayed. The feature project was in pre-production in Atlanta, heading for a November start of photography. New director now. The director's gone. So here's what's happened. We have had a complete shift of a lot of Marvel movies. A lot. So Blade 3 now moves from November 3rd, 23 to September 6th, 2024. Which is where Deadpool 3 was. Deadpool 3 has moved from September 6th, 2024 to November 8th, 2024. A couple of months. So maybe not that bad. But then we get into some like, damn. Fantastic Four was supposed to come out November 8th, 2024. It is now coming out February 14th, 2025. And then this one is like, okay, holy crap. Avengers Secret Wars was supposed to come out November 7th, 2025. It's now coming out May 5th, 2026. Whoa. So here's the crazy thing here. I think Marvel's kind of in a slump right now. We're having some issues. We're having some definite issues here. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. And the thing is, I like the Marvel movies, but they're not like oh my god, but I mean I do own quite a few of them. But now it's kind of like, especially now, it feels like I look at Disney Plus and I go, well, if I'm going to have Disney Plus, why do I need to buy these movies? They're all here and they're all in one place. And in a lot of cases, they stream at a higher bit rate than a 4K Blu-ray will allow. That is true, by the way. Some of the, and on top of that, they're opened up to the IMAX format. So you're actually getting like more movie. Not really, but it just opens it up a little bit. But it is true that Disney Plus's bit rate actually ends up looking better on some TVs than the 4K Blu-ray will, which is insane to think about. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But I feel like Wakanda Forever, which is coming out next? When does Wakanda Forever come out? It's like a month from now, I think. That one's going to be, it's a really important movie, right? It's not only an important movie because, look, I don't know about you. I thought Chadwick Boseman was badass. And I became a fan of his and was like, I'm going to watch pretty much everything that this guy does for the rest of his career. I love this guy. It's really, really good. Then he dies. So it's not only important for the legacy of Black Panther, the character, but Chadwick Boseman, and it's the end of phase 4 of the MCU. So there's supposed to be a lot of things kind of culminating in this movie. But where do we go from here? I'm confused. And with Blade, I was trying to figure out myself, like, how does a vampire story fit into the MCU at all? Like, this is weird. This is going to be strange. But with Mahershala Ali in it, I mean, that guy is a powerhouse of an actor. He's been good for years. God, wasn't he on that show? Like, he was on some show that my wife used to watch. Like a cheesy procedural type show. And I liked him in that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I mean, we're hoping for the best, right? I think, again, we all hope for the best, right? And by the way, before you guys leave tonight, don't forget Chota. But anyway, Del Toro did great on the first Blade movie. I thought he did the second one. Did he? He didn't do the first one. He did the second one. I enjoyed the second one though. Oh, he did part 1 as well? Really? Are we sure? I mean, I believe you, but let's make sure. Let's make sure everybody sees. Stephen Norrington. You were wrong. No, I'm kidding. But look, I mean, who can forget that, dude, that first, I'm telling you, when they're playing that rave music, and then, dude, that whole, yeah, he did part 2. And then he went to do Hellboy and Hellboy 2. But holy crap, man. That beginning of Blade was amazing. And I was like, okay. I was always kind of a somewhat fan of Wesley Snipes. He never really did anything that made me go, oh my God, except for Demolition Man. But man, yes, the blood sprinklers. And then he comes in like he owns the place. And then that thing where he throws the thing from Krull and it kills all those vampires and he catches it. It's just like, come on. And then even that I loved it. I was like, I love this. I watched Blade so many times. So yeah, and dude, dude, why can't I say his name? Mahershala Ali. I cannot say his name right. Mahershala? Is it Mahershala Ali? Maybe that's where I'm getting, because I'm trying to throw a R in there. Mahershala? Anyway, that dude is super talented. And I cannot wait. Yes, I can. I'm excited to see what he's going to do with Blade. So, can't wait to get off work. Want to watch some anime, damn it. Yeah, so yeah, maybe that's where you're getting confused though, Wraith, because I thought the same thing. I was like, did he do the first one? I can't remember. It's an easy thing. It's an easy thing to confuse. But look, here's the deal. Like I said at the end, for those of you who are still here and awake, the next few weeks are going to be weird. Leon comes in next Tuesday. I'm not sure when exactly. So I'm not sure if there's going to be a stream, but we'll figure it out. We may not stream it all Tuesday. May stream Wednesday. I don't know. Just depends on what's going on. We're just going to have to play a lot of things by ear. And of course, with Retropalooza that weekend, next weekend, we're going to have to see. how things go, and we're going to deal with it. We're just going to deal with it, and it's going to be fun, but it's going to be fun. What did you think of Pacific Rim? I liked it. Okay. It didn't grab me. Like, I had no interest in seeing the second one. When I heard the second one was coming out, I was like, eh. This was before before it came out and did terribly. I was already kind of like, meh. Am I shitting my pants in excitement? I mean, no. But I'm excited. I'm really excited. It just didn't connect with me. I don't know. Rob's got me thinking of anime now, so I'm just at work going, I got to get out of here. They butchered the plot for part 2. Yeah, I mean, I will tell Leon that. I will. Now, if only we could get... I'm just kidding. The thing is, live stream from Retropalooza, I actually thought about that, but then here's the thing. This is another one of those things about me, right? I saw somebody do that the first Retropalooza I went to. They were live streaming, and everyone that got on camera was like, oh, hey, I don't think I'm going to do it. And the reason is I may live stream. I don't know. I can't figure it out because people are caught off guard by it, because when you're at a convention, you're being a person. You know what I mean? You're not on camera. You're just being the person that you are. And when someone sticks a camera in your face, it feels awkward. So I don't know. I may film during it to include in my video, but I don't know if I'm gonna live stream it because I don't want to give off that vibe. One of the ones that it affects like really hard, which of course he's not going to be here this time, but would, beat 'em ups. I saw somebody doing that, and I saw him react like, oh, that's why I like a lot of his. And look, I'm speaking for him. I don't know what he was thinking, but I saw his face in some pictures. He's like, this is awkward and I feel uncomfortable. And it makes me uncomfortable seeing that. So I just said, okay, I'll film some things, but I'm not going to be like, hey, what do you think about Retropalooza? Whoa! You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that crap. I'm just not, I just don't do that. It's not in my, you know what I'm saying, right? Like when you got the camera and you're all like, hey, blah, 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 blah. It just comes off really, it's just not me. I would rather film some stuff, and if somebody says something cool and fun, cool. If not, no biggie. I'll film you from back, way back here. We'll say, hey, here's blah, 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 and here's blah, 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 and here's this person. I miss Wood in some Chaser episodes. He did a live stream of when he got his first Switch. Yeah, the thing is, I get it. COVID did a lot of things where it kind of, he needed the change. And so he changed over. I mean, this is before COVID, but I think what happened is when he started shooting up, it became, okay, now this is my life now. I've got to keep this going because this is my life now. It's separate from retro, and from the Game Chaser. So it is a bummer. And I wish Wood was around more for just because it was a different feeling, you know what I mean? But I get it. It's just a thing. Yeah, he's happy. He seems happy. Oh, Phil, you're going to bed. Sorry. It is time. But yes, let's do that. Let's call the stream. It's 3.5 hours and my throat's sore. But here's the thing. Like I said, next week is Retropalooza. All kinds of things are going to be happening. We're going to do our best to keep on schedule, but we'll see what happens. It all depends on what's going on, because if things are happening, there won't be videos or streams, but we'll see what happens. So anyway, you guys have a great rest of your weekend or week. We'll see you. And again, I'll be on Discord and stuff. So we'll see you guys later. And if you guys are coming to Retropalooza, if I don't see you next Tuesday, hopefully we will. We'll see you at Retropalooza. And for the rest of you, hey, I'm sorry you can't be there, but you guys have a great one and stuff. This is way too long, and I should just go now. Okay, bye.